4602.
Hey guys, good morning.
Hey guys, Brian.
We're getting ready to go live in just a
I
minute.
have the MyPillow slippers at Mike Lindell. He's right. These are the most comfortable slippers I've ever worn. And you can get them for 40% off at MyPillow.com with the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E.
Good morning. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, click that notification bell, and everyone like the video as soon as you jump in. Like the video. That helps. Liking the video helps spread the YouTube algorithm magic to recommend this video to people that like this kind of content.
Oh, the slip-on fur-lined ones?
Oh man, we got a lot to talk about today.
What is neuropathy and what are the symptoms?
Well, the nerves in your feet start going bad, and it affects your balance, and it's painful.
So you're wearing the MyPillow, My Slippers, which, by the way, 40% off with the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, and it's helped with your neuropathy.
Yes, it is. It's much. I have to wear slippers at home. I can't go barefoot or even with socks on.
Wow.
So I have to wear that, and I also have the MyPillow pillow and the MyPillow mattress topper and the.
That mattress topper is unbelievable, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh,
My
man.
wife loves it.
Oh, man. I know, they're all great. Yeah, I know. And by the way, when you use the promo code Kane at checkout, 40% off the MyPillow slippers, 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper, and you get 2 free MyPillows with it. So it's great. Well, that's awesome. Order your MyPillow, My Slippers, 40% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. Or call 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the
Here we go, guys.
Veterans and spouses of veterans, you may be entitled to benefits that you are not aware of, including long-term care benefits. Call attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group and find out what benefits are available to you. With offices in Boca Raton and Fort Lauderdale, call toll-free 1-855-FLA
Here we go.
3782. 1-855-FLA 3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE. 1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE.
Yes, yes. All righty. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. My name's Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. And, man, it's Thursday morning, August 5th, 2021. And, of course, we are broadcasting from Ron DeSantis' Free Florida. That's the new name of Florida. Ron DeSantis' Free Florida. And, man, Ron DeSantis, is he not amazing? Is he not amazing? I mean, you know, I love this guy, Ron DeSantis. He's the best governor ever. If that Andrew Gillum, the Democrat, would have won, Florida would have had the worst. I just got an email, or a DM. Does anyone email anymore? Most everything's DM now. I got a DM on the Twitter this morning from Jason, who goes with us on our cruises, and he wrote, "You have an amazing governor. Florida is one of 3 states we might move to." He's thinking of moving to Florida with his family because of the great governor, Ron DeSantis. Florida is the best state, and it's even better with Governor Ron DeSantis running it. So, you know, Biden attacked Florida and Texas the day before yesterday. And, you know, Governor Ron DeSantis, he's the hardest working governor I have ever seen. Okay? And he has a press conference almost every day. He's always visiting someplace in Florida doing something. And he has a press conference pretty much every day. I watch them all. His press conference yesterday obviously has gone viral, has become worldwide, not just national, but worldwide news, because he has stood up to Joe Biden. And it's right here. Here, guys. I don't have my YouTube mic on. I'm sorry, guys. There we go. You know, because I live stream on YouTube, I have the one mic that I use for the radio, and I have a second mic for YouTube. And I forgot to clip, the mic I use for YouTube is a clip-on mic that I clip onto my shirt. I wear a headset mic for the radio, and I forgot to put on my clip-on mic. So welcome to all the YouTube people who couldn't hear me all that well until a moment ago. Yeah. So we're in Ron DeSantis' free Florida. Ron DeSantis, every day when he has a press conference, because he has them every day on whatever issue it is, every press conference of Ron DeSantis is equally as epic as the one you saw yesterday. They're all like this. That's how great he is. He is a perfect person, so far as politicians go. And he's very, very good. Second only to the great Donald Trump. And he's our governor because of Donald Trump. Ron DeSantis was not really expected to win. He was a member of the House of Representatives, and he was okay. I didn't know too much about Ron DeSantis. I knew who he was, and I saw him in a hearing here and there on a House hearing and everything, and he was all right, and he always made good points, but I didn't know too much about him. He's from another part of Florida than I'm in. Isn't he from the Tampa area? Somewhere over in that area? And I didn't know too much about him. And we had a really bad person running for the Democrats. Oh man, did we ever. And he was doing not too well in the polls. Andrew Gillum was the Democrat. He wasn't doing too well in the polls. And then one day, President Trump had a rally here in Florida for Ron DeSantis and endorsed Ron DeSantis, and that was it. Ron DeSantis took off like a rocket ship after that, and it really tells you President Trump, he knows good talent. He always picks the best people, and of course, Ron DeSantis is the apprentice of Donald Trump. He's going to be the second MAGA president. Donald Trump's the first MAGA president. Ron DeSantis will be the second MAGA president in 2028 after President Trump's second term, when he's reelected to his second and non-consecutive term in 2024. So this is just great. So Biden, let me play the part of Biden first, which I wasn't going to play, but let's have some context. Let's play Biden first. I did pull this up. Please try to stay awake while we're listening to Biden here. Here's Biden calling out Texas and Florida.
The escalation of cases is particularly concentrated in states with low vaccination rates. Just 2 states, Florida and Texas, account for 1/3 of all new COVID-19 cases in the entire country. Just 2 states. Look, we need leadership from everyone. If some governors aren't willing to do the right thing to beat this pandemic, then they should allow businesses and universities who want to do the right thing to be able to do it.
Ron DeSantis should, and Governor Greg Abbott should turn the state of Texas and the state of Florida over to businesses and universities?
And they should allow businesses and universities who want to do the right thing to be able to do it. I say to these governors, please help. But if you aren't going to help, at least get out of the way of the people who are trying to do the right thing. Use your power to save lives.
You know what annoys me more than anything about Biden? This whispering. Save lives. Do it. He's creep. The whispering really bugs the hell out of me. So, Texas, I'll talk about Texas first, and then we'll take our first break so I can play in its entirety the epic takedown of Joe Biden by the great governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis. In its entirety. It's 4 minutes and 30 seconds long, and it's great. I'm going to have to play it more than once today. It's so great. Oh, I have some hate voicemail calls we're going to get to on the program, too, later today. Don't let me forget this little mental note to self. Texas. Okay. Now, Texas is on our southern border, which is wide open. We do not have a southern border as I am speaking to you. We've not had a southern border since Inauguration Day. Okay? And, of course, people coming across the border, we know, are both not vaccinated nor tested until they get here. And a lot of them are COVID positive. Every person that comes across the southern border into Texas illegally that tests positive for COVID, that's counted against Greg Abbott. How the hell is Texas COVID number? How are the Texas COVID numbers Greg Abbott's fault when you're bringing across a couple million people who knows how many of them have never been tested or vaccinated and have COVID. Biden is flooding the place with people that are testing positive with COVID illegally coming into the country and then saying what a bad job Greg Abbott's doing. What's going on in Texas is without question Biden's doing. Florida, a couple weeks back, Governor Ron DeSantis said that he has confirmed that illegals are being transported to Florida. So they transport illegals to Florida, then they test them for COVID, and all of a sudden, those numbers count against Florida. I did something this morning on the way to work. And you can see this if you go to my TikTok. I'm on TikTok, Brian Craig Show on TikTok. I put this up on TikTok. I'm hearing stories that Florida hospitals are overrun with COVID patients. I went by both hospitals here in this town this morning on the way to the radio station and made a video showing you the entrance to the emergency rooms. So Brian Craig Show on TikTok, go and check that out. And you'll see what's going on at Florida hospitals. Now, a lot of the people, they cross the border illegally into Texas, they get tested, and then boom, they're added to the Texas numbers. Then Biden puts them on a bus or a plane and brings them to Florida. They come to Florida, they get tested again, so they count against Florida's numbers. And they've been counted twice. Do you think it's a coincidence that these two huge states, Florida and Texas, huge states, massive populations, are accounting for such a huge percentage of the new COVID numbers? Of course not. Look what they're doing. They're flooding both of our states with COVID people, COVID positive people. So let's take our first break. I'm going to take it actually on time. This is the time I'm supposed to break. I usually take the first break about 5 minutes late, but I don't want to have to interrupt Governor Ron DeSantis' epic, historic, trending takedown of Sleepy Joe Biden. So we're going to take our break and do that. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. It's a toll-free call from anywhere, 1-888-465-2631. We will be back right after this.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, and everybody in there, chat room, like the video. Hey, Debbie.
Selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive, and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, 16 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, the longest running radio show in Ron DeSantis' free Florida. Before I play for you Governor DeSantis' takedown of Biden yesterday, I want to read you something someone wrote on Twitter yesterday. Someone shared this with me. And this will just tell you what I'm going up against. Remember talking about the lefties and they're unglued? Listen to this. And this tweet is in all caps. All caps. Anybody out there who's tired of Brian Craig and his Trumpism lies, help Truthful Freedom. Call into his Grifting Liars Radio Show live YouTube chat and jam his phone line and chat. Then they give out the number. Between 0600 and 0900 Eastern Time, Monday through Friday, shut this BS down. Isn't that nice? I'm not going to share with you the name of the person on the Twitter account that did that because I'm a gentleman and a decent guy, and I'm not going to turn people against anyone. But that's what I'm dealing with. That's what I'm dealing with here, people. I know, that's life. That's life. All right, so let me share this with you. I know, isn't that something? Isn't that something? Here we go. The great governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, and his epic takedown. Let's play the whole thing. It's 4 minutes and 30 seconds long. Let's play it. Got your radios tuned up loud? Turn them up. Turn them up. Here we go. Ron DeSantis.
I just want to say something quickly. Joe Biden has taken to himself to try to single out Florida over COVID. This is a guy who ran for president saying he was going to, quote, shut down the virus. And what has he done? He's imported more virus from around the world by having a wide open southern border. You have hundreds of thousands of people pouring across every month. And it's not just from Mexico. In fact, it's rarely from Mexico. You have over 100 different countries where people are pouring through. Not only are they letting them through, they're then farming them out all across our communities across this country, putting them on planes, putting them on buses. Do you think they're being worried about COVID for that? Of course not. So he's facilitating. Who knows what new variants are out there, but I can tell you whatever variants are around the world, they're coming across that southern border. And so he's not shutting down the virus, he's helping to facilitate it in our country. And what is his big solution? What is he so upset about Florida? His solution is he wants to have the government force kindergartners to wear masks in school. He doesn't believe the parents should have a say in that. He thinks that should be a decision for the government. Well, I can tell you in Florida, the parents are going to be the ones in charge of that decision.
Don't you love it? Now, this is just the beginning. He's just getting warmed up, Governor DeSantis. You know, I said in the first segment, Ron DeSantis does this every day. He has a press conference every day, no matter where in Florida he is, no matter what he's working on, addressing what is going on. He's that good. This is each and every day. This is just his press conference yesterday has gone viral, and everyone's watching it. He does this every single day.
One of the major medical people in his administration just recently told parents that they should be wearing masks at home when they're around their own children.
Oh my.
This is insane. Joe Biden also believes that vaccination should be mandated by force of government and that you should have to show vaccination status to be able to participate in society. Now, Florida, we're very proud of our Seniors First strategy. You look at the mortality in nursing homes among seniors, it's declined dramatically. But we said from the beginning, we're going to make it available for all, but we're not going to mandate it on anybody. That's ultimately an individual's choice to be able to do it. Biden, he rejects science because he denies the fact that people that recover from COVID have long-lasting immunity. And that's been proven time and time again, and the data is very clear. So his vision is, just like in New York City, restaurants should ban young kids from being able to go in because they're not eligible for vaccination, and law-abiding citizens have to produce proof of their medical records just to go to the gym or attend an event or just to participate in everyday society. He wants that, but yet if you want to vote, he thinks it's too much of a burden to show a picture ID when you're voting. So no voter ID, but have to show your medical papers just to be able to live an everyday life? Give me a break. And so I think the question is we can either have a free society or we can have a biomedical security state. And I can tell you, Florida, we're a free state. People are going to be free to choose to make their own decisions about themselves, about their families, about their kids' education, and about putting food on the table. And Joe Biden suggests that if you don't do lockdown policies, then you should, quote, get out of the way. But let me tell you this. If you're coming after the rights of parents in Florida, I'm standing in your way. I'm not going to let you get away with it.
This is awesome. Now he's done. Now listen to, I'm going to play a little bit of this before they turn the mic off. You hear a little bit of the background. Afterwards, you can hear some people talking nearby the mic, the hot mic still. Listen.
Florida, I'm standing in your way. I'm not going to let you get away with it. If you're trying to deny kids a proper in-person education, I'm going to stand in your way, and I'm going to stand up for the kids in Florida. If you're trying to restrict people, impose mandates, if you're trying to ruin their jobs and their livelihoods and their small business, if you are trying to lock people down, I am standing in your way, and I'm standing for the people of Florida. So why don't you do your job? Why don't you get this border secure? And until you do that, I don't want to hear a blip about COVID from you. Thank you.
Now listen to the background.
Good job, my friend.
Yeah, they love him. They love him. Oh yeah, there's your second MAGA president, Trump 2, Ron DeSantis. Oh man, I've got goosebumps. Chicken skin. I got goosebumps listening to that. Oh man, I'm sorry for those of you that live in Michigan and some of these other places. We've got a great governor here. Yeah, Trump 2, our second MAGA president. He's going to be a great president. He's going to be a great vice president for Trump in his second term in 2024. You know, this guy, Ron DeSantis. They've been after Ron DeSantis for about a year, maybe a little longer, because he's been standing up to them. You know, Florida, you know how long Florida's been open? How long has Florida been open? Do you know? A lot of your states haven't been open for as long. How long has Florida been open? Forever. Florida was never shut down. Now, there have been some businesses and things that shut down, but Florida has been open through the whole thing. That's right. Now, if we would have had the Democrat win, we would have had the most strict shutdowns of anyone, because that Gillum is a real lunatic. Remember how he ended up? Oh, my goodness. In that hotel room with a male prostitute and drugs all over the place, passed out on the floor of a Miami hotel room. That would have been our governor if President Trump didn't come out and endorse the great Ron DeSantis. And things are so... he's up for re-election. In the midterms, he's up for re-election. He will win re-election. In fact, the Democrats, they've all been given up. They've got Charlie Crist running for governor as a Democrat. Charlie Crist was our governor years ago, and he used to be a Republican, and he switched to the Democrat Party and lost to Rick Scott, who's now our senator. And he's so pathetic and has to hold office that now he's in the House of Representatives, which is a major demotion from the west coast of Florida. And Charlie Crist is out there running for governor. And the reason Charlie Crist is running for governor against Ron DeSantis, who's already lost and he's a Benedict Arnold, is because no one else wants to do it. He's one of those throwaway candidates. That's how popular Ron DeSantis is. And if Donald Trump wasn't running in 2024, he would, without question, be our nominee in 2024 and our president. But he'll be a good vice president to Donald Trump. I'm so glad this is going viral, because now people are going to start to follow Ron DeSantis even more in the national news. You know, since Trump isn't out there every day and isn't on the social media, Ron DeSantis is going to be the face of MAGA. And they've been investigating this guy for a year or so because he stood up to everything that the left have been trying to do. Remember a couple weeks ago, he had Don't Fauci My Florida, on his campaign site. He's got gear. Don't Fauci my Florida. Isn't that nice? I love that one. That's great. And they haven't been able to find anything on him because he is a very moral guy too. And one thing they don't like about him too, they haven't gotten into everything they don't like, but one thing they don't like about Ron DeSantis is he wears cowboy boots. I'm waiting for the redneck slurs to start. They've had a CNN reporter following him around for over a year, and that tells you when CNN is following around the governor of Florida, that's a very unusual thing for CNN to do. They're fishing, and he's gotten into a lot of back and forths with these liberal reporters. It always goes bad for them, just like Acosta and Trump. They've been in Florida investigating. They have found nothing. He's been groomed his whole life. I mean, from the time he was a little kid, he played in the Little League World Series. I mean, this guy's he's Mr. Perfect. He's Mr. Perfect. And everybody in Florida loves him because he has kept us open through this entire pandemic, and he got us through it. And if the Democrats, the media, the dishonest media, when they go out and investigate people and looking for dirt, like Sarah Palin, or they did with her, Ron DeSantis, Donald Trump, and they find nothing, they can't understand it. They can't get it because they think everyone's as scummy as their people are, the Cuomos and the Kennedys and the Bidens. But we have squeaky clean Marines in the MAGA movement. And Ron DeSantis is just that, a squeaky clean Marine. Now, I got to tell you guys, we're in rainy season. This is hurricane season. Hurricane season is a time when it rains every day. And I got to tell you guys about Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. They finished all the work at Steve Kane's house, and Steve's house was a mess. I mean, it was borderline condemned. And I've not been to Steve's house since he had the work completed. But I've seen the videos and photographs of it, and I'm going to tell you about it. It's spectacular. But I went to Steve's house prior to the work being done, and it had an odor in the house. And I didn't know what the odor was. I just know that it didn't smell like my house, I'll tell you that. And what it was, and Tom Laporta told me this, he noticed it as soon as he got there, the black mold. And Steve and his family didn't smell it because they had gotten used to it, the black mold. Steve had a leak on his roof, and he ignored it. And when you ignore those leaks, they get worse and cause more leaks. He had leaks all over the house, and those roof leaks dripping down into the ceiling, into the walls, the drywall absorbs it. And black mold, which is deadly, was growing throughout Steve's house. So Tom Laporta, it was a two-part job. Part one is Steve needed a whole new roof. Because he had ignored the little leaks, and it was bad. He got a whole new roof. When the roof was completed, they went through the house and had to replace about 40% of the drywall in Steve's house, which they've done. And it looks spectacular. Steve and Laura, they picked a new style of roof, which just totally transformed the look of the house. They did an incredible job, and it was a big job. The house has practically been rebuilt. And they were there working every day while Steve was broadcasting from home, and you didn't even hear a noise in the background. I know they did an incredible, incredible job. If you have a wet spot on your ceiling, call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. Have him do a free roof inspection. Because you see that wet spot on your ceiling, it might be the size of a coin. What's going on at the roof level is you probably have a whole puddle in a leak area there. And if you catch it soon enough, you very well may need just a simple repair. We had one of our listeners had Tom Laporta out at his condo community. He called a couple of other guys before he heard us talking about Tom Laporta. They told him they needed a whole new roof on their condo. Tom Laporta from Laporta Contracting went out, did the inspection, said, no, you just need a simple repair. That's right. So call Tom Laporta. He's a good MAGA guy, and this number rings directly to his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. When we come back from the break, I'd love to hear from some of you guys out there. If you'd like to call in, share your thoughts on the great Ron DeSantis. and anything else that's going on in the news this week so far. You must be not open phones, but relevant to the news cycle right now. There's so much going on. Our number, toll free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call from anywhere. We'll take that break and be right back after this.
Traveling and need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. If you're new, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell. And everyone that's already subscribed, make sure you got the notifications turned on, because I upload videos here very regularly. I've been doing a second live stream and after the show live stream. When I get off the air in the morning, people like it. If you got the notification clicked, you'll get the notification when I do that. My wife uploads videos now that she's doing on her own. And, of course, I upload my podcast here. And this weekend, they put the Joe Biden robot at the Hall of Presidents at Walt Disney World. I'm going to go up there this weekend to see what they did with the Trump animatronic. If they've disappeared it where you can hardly see it, what they've done to Trump. And I'm going to vlog that and put that up here on this channel too. So I put a lot of content up here.
597-7060. That's 954-597-7060. And you can also find us online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Call the Soul Authority today and start taking care of your feet.
Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on radio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, welcome back, everyone. 34 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, the longest-running radio show in Ron DeSantis' free Florida. Welcome back. It's Thursday morning, August 5th. And man, do we got a lot to talk about. 1-888-GO-CANE-1 is our number. 888-465-2631. Okay, so, I turned on MSNBC yesterday afternoon, and I saw Vindman. Remember Colonel Vindman? He was on with Nicole Wallace on MSNBC, and any of you seen Vindman? He's doing these interviews. He's got a book out. Lieutenant Colonel Vindman. He was the one who was the whistleblower inside the White House who reported the Commander-in-Chief, President Donald Trump, the 45th President of the United States, because Vindman did not like his foreign policy. And what Vindman did, it was over that Ukrainian phone call, led to the first impeachment of our great President Donald Trump. And I've seen him mentioned in the news a lot this week because he's on his book tour. I've never really heard him speak outside of that hearing. And PJ just sent me a text. Will the Biden robots say, come on, man, I'm going to find out. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there and find out. Come on, man. I'm more interested in what they did with Trump and his robot. But anyway, the only time I heard Vindman talk was during that hearing. And I saw this interview with Nicole Wallace. Nicole Wallace is a real lowlife. She's a supposed Republican. She worked for John McCain. She's probably the source of all the negative leaks during that McCain-Palin run that were about Sarah Palin. She's a real nasty person. Remember, she used to be on The View. She worked for John McCain. Now she's on MSNBC. And she was so giddy over Colonel Vindman. Oh, man, she was so excited over Vindman. So I watched the interview with Vindman, and I was shocked at how inarticulate that man is. He should have been brought up on charges, court-martialed, for what he did to his commander-in-chief, and lost his rank and been imprisoned. But instead, he's sitting on his fat army pension, writing books, getting book deals, and doing all this stuff. He should have been brought up on charges. What he did, I believe, was criminal. But he's very, very inarticulate. But I watched the whole interview because, I tell you guys sometimes, I learned this from the actor Benedict Cumberbatch. Okay, Benedict Cumberbatch, I saw him on an interview, and he was interviewing about a movie he was in where he played a villain. I can't remember what movie, what villain, but he was asked by the interviewer, how do you play someone so evil? How do you play these? And he said, the way, as an actor, he says, the way you play the villain is you play the villain as if you're the hero. He says, villains don't think they're villains. Villains think they're the hero. So I play it as if I'm the hero. And I don't know too much about acting, but I do know that low-life creepy people don't think that they're low-life creepy people. They think they are the heroes. And Vindman thinks he's a national hero. And Vindman, he was talking about all these terrible things that President Trump did and all these great people that have dedicated their life to public service and all this stuff and the threat to democracy that Donald Trump was and all this. And I realized, Vindman, he's part of the bureaucracy. And Colonel Vindman and these people like him, they believe it's their country, and the country is the bureaucracy, the so-called public servants, who all seem to be very wealthy people. If they're dedicated to public life, how do they become so wealthy? You got to wonder. But they think that they and the bureaucracy are America. And the rest of us, well, we're not true citizens. It's like in Starship Troopers. The book and the movie are both very, very good and very, very different. But I've read the book and seen the movie. But in Starship Troopers, regular people were not citizens. To get citizenship, you had to serve in the military, and then you became a citizen. Okay, and that's how Vindman and the bureaucracy think. They are the true American citizens. The rest of us are non-citizens and troublesome to them. And, Vindman didn't like Trump's foreign policy. That's why he violated the chain of command and went against his commander-in-chief. Well, Donald Trump's foreign policy was very successful. He just did it in a different way because he didn't have to make deals to profit off of his position like other politicians do. But very inarticulate. And I was watching Nicole Wallace read sections of the book. She was so excited. She was excited like a woman reading 50 Shades of Grey, if you get my drift on that one. She was so excited reading his book to him. It's very bizarre. But if you can catch Vindman on any interviews, try to do it and get an idea for what this guy is like. Our number, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the radio. Good morning. Once. Yeah, you're on the air.
This is Charlie from Michigan.
Hey, Charlie.
I was watching CNN yesterday, and I was listening to local news, and what they're advertising is they're saying that for every one unvaccinated person who has the COVID virus, they infect 5 people. Well, then I saw a report from McAllen, Texas, where Biden has released 7,000 people since January into the national population, and 1,500 last week alone. So if you add that up, that's 42,500 new cases. And Biden's blaming the governor of Texas.
Well, like I said, because Biden's a liar, is what I was saying a few minutes ago. I'll restate again because it's a very good point. The numbers we're getting out of the government are conservative on the people coming across the border. They say by the end of the year, 2 million will have crossed. And if that's what they're telling us, it's much more. But using just the conservative fake low number that they're giving us on the southern border, I read an article yesterday. So many people have crossed the southern border since Inauguration Day that if you put them in a city, it would be the 10th largest population of a city in America. 10th largest city. Can you imagine? That's how many. And what happens is a lot of them are COVID positive. They've never been tested and never been vaxxed. They come into Texas and they get tested. They test positive, and then that number counts against Greg Abbott, like Greg Abbott's doing something wrong in Texas. That's it.
Party is actually doing the COVID testing, not the...
What's that? No. When they test them, when they test the illegals at the southern border, it doesn't matter if they're positive or negative. Those numbers should not be counting against Greg Abbott in Texas. There should be a whole separate calculation. So the over a million and a half people they say have come across. I don't know how many of them are positive with COVID, but when they test positive, it doesn't matter who tests them, the number counts against Texas and Greg Abbott. And then they say Greg Abbott's doing a bad job in Texas. It's nonsense. And then they bring a lot of them to Florida. They test them again, and then the numbers count against Ron DeSantis. This is everything the Democrats always do is a dishonest scheme. Like, look at this thing. Did you see this photo op with AOC yesterday that was in the news?
Yep.
Okay, now this tells you what I'm talking about. AOC sitting on the Capitol steps with a bunch of punk kids, who obviously don't have jobs because in the middle of the week they're in Washington sitting on the Capitol steps. And she's sitting there maskless with this whole group of kids, and they get ready to take the picture, and then she puts her mask on. And she's sitting there next to Cori Bush talking in each other's ears, so close they almost kissed. They're that close. And no masks on. But when the photo came on, she put the mask on. It's like when she was crying into the empty parking lot, wearing white like an angel. Remember that? So, everything with the Democrats, it's not just AOC, it's all of them. Everything with the Democrats is always a lie to get a false narrative out there to further their agenda. That's what they do. Hey, Michigan, thanks for... Yeah, go ahead. One last thing.
Also what this COVID thing's doing is tearing families apart. I mean, my family alone, I've got 3 or 4 people infighting just because of the vaccination. Should I get it? Should I not?
Well, they should go to the doctor and decide with their doctor. I'm vaccinated, but that's up to you. All right, take care. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
My name is Phyllis from Tampa.
Phyllis in Tampa. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. Love your show. Get up every morning to watch.
Thank you.
I totally agree. I think Ron DeSantis is the perfect governor for Florida, and I also believe that he will make a great VP alongside Trump and a great president in 2028. My concern is as Florida while he's in the White House, because there's nobody like him.
Well, there's no one. No, there's no one like Trump. There's no one like. Listen, here's the deal. If Ron DeSantis becomes President Trump's vice president in 2024, he'll leave right after the election to be vice president. He can only be governor 2 terms anyway. He'll be halfway through his 2nd term, so he's going to have to leave anyway. The lieutenant governor, I don't even know her name. She never talks. The only time I've seen her talk is in Spanish when they came down here to Surfside. I'm sure she's competent. DeSantis picked her, but no one. We're never going to have another Ron DeSantis as governor. We're going to lose him at some point. So 6 years of Ron DeSantis, I'll be happy with that, and then we'll get his lieutenant governor, who I'm assuming also speaks English. I've only heard her speak Spanish, like I said, but we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Yeah, Matt Gaetz would be a great governor. Maybe Matt Gaetz will leave the House and become governor. I hope it's not little Marco.
Yeah, I agree. I like Gaetz. I'm excited about.
This is my pick for Florida governor after Ron DeSantis. He lives in Jupiter, Florida. His name is Don Jr.
Yeah.
Now, if Don Jr. replaces DeSantis as governor, he lives in Jupiter, next door. His mansion's next door to Kim Guilfoyle's in Jupiter, which is down up the road from Mar-a-Lago. Don Jr. would be a great governor.
Yeah, that's very likely, and I'd like to see that.
We're going to lose him at some point. We're going to lose it. And this is the thing. A lot of people say, well, he won't want to be number 2 and be the VP. This is different because President Trump, his 2nd non-consecutive term is his last term. He can only be president 2 terms. So it's not a normal thing. I agree. If 2024 would be Donald Trump's 1st term, Ron DeSantis might not take the job. But since immediately by becoming vice president, he's the nominee in 2028. So it's a whole different scenario. And Donald Trump needs a good a good guy that he can send around the country and bring it back together after we have 4 years of Biden and Kamala Harris selling it out and wrecking it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Another fear that I have is, these elections coming up.
Well, I got to run for a break, but hey, Tim, I appreciate the call. I'm late for a break. I'm sorry, okay? But take care. It's 47 minutes after the hour. We'll take our last break of the first hour and be right back.
This is Brian Craig. I've been telling you about the great deals and incredible customer service at Friendly Tire on both new tires and used tires. One of our listeners, Antonio, went to Friendly Tire and called to share with us his experience of buying used tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, yes, Brian, I want to give you a quick testimony about the tire place up in Margate, Friendly Tire. Friendly Tire is everything you said it would be, man. I went there and got me some used tires, and when I went there, man, he was very courteous. My whole family's going for now, man. Everything you said it was going to be, man. I appreciate you for that, man. And Mike's a great guy, man.
Well, what's your name?
Antonio.
All right, Antonio. Hey, I'm glad we could save you and your family lots of money on tires at Friendly Tire.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thanks so much, man.
Do what Antonio did. Stop into Friendly Tire and find incredible deals on both new and used tires. Give Friendly Mike a call right now. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. And Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate.
Hi folks, Dr. Matez here, now with the BioStation West Delray. At BioStation West Delray, we continue to offer the highest level of experience and care you can find in the realm of hormone pellet and hormone replacement therapies. But that's just the start. We offer a full array of age management modalities, including state-of-the-art treatments for erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction in women, physical and sexual rejuvenation, and quite frankly, any sign or symptom of aging that you may have. And don't forget, we offer the complete array of all cosmetic modalities, including Botox, fillers, lasers, etc. Better energy, better sleep, better performance, and looks to die for. If this all sounds good to you, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
The Steve Kane 2022 MAGA Cruise is a go. Leaving January 21st on the Celebrity Equinox out of Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale. Join Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig, for 9 nights cruising the Caribbean. We will stop in Grand Cayman Island, Bonaire, Curacao, and Aruba. Reserve your cabin right now and call Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, 49 minutes after the hour. Hey guys, if you have not already made reservations for the Steve Kane 2022 MAGA Cruise on board the newly remodeled, refitted, and just beautiful Celebrity Equinox, call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. I was talking to Ian yesterday, and these ships are filling up quick. Cruise ships have returned to sailing in Florida for a couple of months now, and there have been no incidents. All the cruise lines have been sailing, but they're selling out quick. And after mid-August, at the rate things are going, Ian's telling me that he doesn't know if there's going to be any availability left on these ships, including ours. And we have an incredible deal. When you sail with us, you get a very, very discounted rate as opposed to everybody else on the ship booking outside of our group, because what had happened when obviously our cruise, we had a cruise scheduled last year that didn't happen because of COVID shut down cruising. And when COVID first happened and cruises were first suspended because of COVID, Ian and I immediately set up this cruise that we're taking in January on the Celebrity Equinox. And because the cruises were shut down, it was the most fearful time of the pandemic, we got an incredible deal and low price on this cruise. Very low, very low. And yeah, I know. And after August, mid-August, we're in August, and it's the 5th day of August. That low rate is going to go away real quick because the ship is really, really filling up. So call in at Cruise and Travel Depot, reserve your spot, and lock in that low rate. Here's his number. If you miss this, it's listed at SteveKaneShow.com. 561-244-5779. This is going to be a great one. We're, every cruise, this is 9 nights, very excited. We leave on a Friday, return the following Sunday. And every night we do our in-person meetup talk show. This one's going to be much different than on the previous cruises. One, Steve and I are going to be on stage in the comedy club doing a stage show, which is, I don't like being on stage. I really, really don't. And when we do our live in-person talk shows, we're just on the floor with everybody else in the conference rooms with the ocean views in the past. And if you notice, I'm always off to the side of the room. Well, I'm going to be on stage, and we're going to talk about all the things that we never talk about on the radio for many reasons, as you will hear. But we got a lot of great activities scheduled as well, so you will not want to miss it. So call in at Cruise and Travel Depot, 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779, and join us. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hi, Joellen from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Joellen. What's up?
So I was listening to Buck Sexton yesterday. They have Ann Coulter on there now. Almost.
Oh, the Never Trumper, Ann Coulter.
Oh my God! I used to like her, but I haven't liked her.
Ann Coulter at one time was like one of my role models. It's weird for a guy to have a lady role model, but I thought she was spectacular. How she and then Trump came down the escalator, and she was a Never Trumper.
Yeah, well, she said that his campaign was great, but his presidency fell apart. And she said also that he was grifting his supporters, to support his lifestyle, golfing, and his businesses.
The guy's got $10 billion. He lost money being president. It cost him money. Come on.
He did nothing to help Giuliani. He didn't give Giuliani any money to help him or all the money he's getting from his supporters. So
I saw that story a couple days ago. I don't know if that's true. How many stories about President Trump have the media says she's still a Never Trumper? Oh my, Ann Coulter, come on.
She really is. She really.
Steve and I, I'm not going to say the name of the person. I don't even know if they still are this, but Steve and I were good friends with her boyfriend a few years back, and he stopped being friends with us because of our support of Donald Trump, and hasn't talked to us in like years now.
Yeah. She says she wants DeSantis. She says she likes DeSantis. She says, but she wants DeSantis to fight for her support. There's a lot of great candidates.
And again, I had Ann Coulter. I interviewed her more than once, and I always loved Ann Coulter, and I always promoted Ann Coulter and talked about Ann Coulter, but she was a Never Trumper. She still is, from what you're telling me, and at this point, she's a has-been. Why would now she's doing very well for a has-been. I'm sure she's worth millions of dollars living in Palm Beach and all, but why does Ron DeSantis need her support? Which I think her support would be a negative, and why should he go and grovel for it? She really said that?
Yeah, yep.
Wow.
That's exactly what she said. That was yesterday. So, but a few other things, Andrew Cuomo, I think Letitia James or oh God, what's his name? The other guy wants to take over for his spot. James is the Attorney General there.
I'm not sure who you're talking about. Oh, she wants to be the governor, you mean?
She wants to, I think she is trying to edge in there.
I know, that's a big talking point everybody has. But, and I'm sure she wants to be, governor, I want to be an astronaut. But when she came out with that press conference, I was talking yesterday, she looked terrified. And if she was, they say that as a way, well, she just wants to be governor, that's why she did this. That's a defense of Cuomo, people that say that. Okay? If she was trying to destroy him and wanting to be governor, she would have pursued this instead of coming out and giving a terrifying hostage video. The Attorney General's work is now done. She's talking about herself in the third person like Captain Queeg from the Kane Mutiny, and then she doesn't do anything. If she was doing this to be governor, she would have furthered she would be prosecuting this guy.
Yeah. There's the other guy that's big there. I forget his name is I can't remember, but I think he's talked about he says he's not interested in the governorship, but I think he is. I think they're just trying to edge up.
Listen, whoever becomes governor of New York will probably be a Democrat jerk. But the only reason I care about Cuomo is because Cuomo was probably going to be the Democrat nominee either in 2024 or 2028. And I think that's over now. I think his electability nationally is over now.
I think a lot of these 11 women, are, in the first place, nothing really is that serious to me. And I could care less about these women. To me, it's the more important point is the people that are killed in the nursing home.
Well, yeah. I mean, of course, that's more important. But when you can't get somebody on something, you got to go on. You got to get them on what you can get them on.
Yeah. Well. I don't know if I believe all these women.
I don't either. And so far as sexual harassment, butch up. When I was starting out in broadcasting, I was sexually harassed by gay men, but I was sexually harassed. I mean, I had a couple opportunities when I was given a couple of job offers when I was first starting with Steve, and I wasn't making very much money. I had one job offer, $50,000 a year and a company car from somebody, and they, but I knew what that meant. I had an opportunity to get a job at a TV station in Miami, making pretty decent money, even though I had no TV, little bit, but not really any TV experience. And I had another, that's the butch up, grow up, take care of yourself. Come on, give me a break.
Woman, the state trooper woman, I think she was the one that he touched her. Ran her finger down her belly or something. And
I'll tell you, I'd forgotten about this till I mentioned, because I don't dwell on the past too much. But I had a lady boss when I was younger that came on to me, and I don't know, maybe I was too young to realize what she was doing at the time. You know what I mean? But it didn't go anywhere. Nothing happened. But it's life. That's life. Grow up. You know what it is with these. This is the thing. A lot of these girls, they're millennials and Gen Zs. They're not into sex and dating. They're into their likes and retweets and their TikToks and their Instagrams and stuff. They're just not into physical contact with the opposite sex. This generation of that are the 20s and 30s, they're into having sex with themselves. And they're just not interested in that. They're not asexual. They're just self-sexual. And,
The problem is everybody's offended by the littlest thing, and they can start a lawsuit about nothing. And it's really disgusting, these people that...
I remember once, I'm not going to mention any names, and this name is somebody that's known in the... And this is a name. This is somebody that is known. I worked at a radio station with someone who's a well-known public figure, and they were in a supervisory role, and they went up, and I was kind of new, to the game, and this was at a radio station, a very big radio station too that I worked at. And I was in the control room with someone else, and this guy came in who was a supervisor. And this guy that came in is a well-known person today. They're a well-known person today. I'm not going to tell you who they are or any reference to it or anything, okay? Because this happened over 20 years ago, and it's very scummy. But I'm not, maybe they've grown up. And this is just the world, So this man, who's our supervisor, comes into the control room. There's just the three of us in there, and because it's a radio station control room, it's soundproof. And he says to the other guy, didn't say it to me, but he said it to the other guy, "Do you really have as big of a D as they say you have?" And I was really caught off guard, and he was caught off guard, and he had him confused with another person that worked there that had the same first name, we found out. But, we didn't run down the human resources and say we got this gay guy. I didn't know. That was his coming out. I had no idea that guy was gay. And it's not the life he's publicly living today, because he's a well-known person. Give me a break. Give me a break. Butch up, grow up. It's life. These millennials they're babies.
Well, it's not just the millennials. It's everybody. It's everybody. It's everybody. It's just a shame. It's just a shame. Real quick, I remember when back in Michigan, where I come from, they were changed. This is like over 30 years ago. They started changing the street names from to Martin Luther King. It's because they were offended or they just wanted to change. It's like, what? You people have nothing better to do and spend money on. All these businesses had to change their addresses, their business cards.
Yeah.
It's that's what starts.
Well, and I'll tell you something, that hurt business. You know, in neighborhoods that have Martin Luther King streets and Martin Luther King avenues typically are black neighborhoods, okay? And here in Fort Lauderdale, I can't remember, because I grew up in Fort Lauderdale, and my mother lives in Fort Lauderdale, and I can't remember, it's either 31st Street or 35th Street through Fort Lauderdale. I can't remember which one it is now. But you're driving on 35th Street or 31st Street, and then all of a sudden it becomes Martin Luther King Street, you know? And it becomes Martin Luther King Street at the point where you roll up your windows and make sure the doors are locked. You know what I mean? So that kind of hurt business because people are like, well, that's in a bad neighborhood. And most oftentimes, they are. All right, hey, listen, thanks for the call. I got to run. All right, oh boy, late for the break. It is 3 minutes after 7. I'm Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll be right back.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife.
Steve Kane Show.
And she went to any lab test now of Coral
Steve Kane Show.
To find out if she has
Hold on.
coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours.
Steve Kane Show.
Stuck down my nose into my brain.
Hold on.
I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to any lab test now at Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Rainbow Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Steve Kane Show.
Guys, Brian Craig here. I have the MyPillow slippers.
Hold on.
Mike Lindell, he's right. These are the most comfortable slippers I've ever worn. And you can get them for 40% off at MyPillow.com with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. One of our listeners called in on the air and told us about his experience with the MyPillow My Slippers.
Brian, I have the MyPillow slippers, and I have neuropathy. These are fantastic slippers.
Really? Which one?
Jacqueline, $50 super sticker. Thank you, thank you. Everyone thank Jacqueline Wilson for that $50 super sticker.
What are the symptoms?
Well, the nerves in your feet start going bad.
Yeah, that guy that made that comment that I was talking about, he's a very, very well-known person.
My Slippers, which, by the way, 40% off with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, and it's helped with your neuropathy.
Yes, it is. It's much. I have to wear slippers at home. I can't go barefoot or even with socks on.
Wow.
So I have to wear that, and I also have the MyPillow pillow and the MyPillow mattress topper and the.
That mattress topper is unbelievable, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh,
my
man.
wife loves it.
Oh, man. I know, they're all great. Yeah, I know. And by the way, when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, 40% off.
Yeah, those super chats are very much appreciated because a lot of times, because of my content, my videos, they're not monetized. Like, I got a notice today that today's show is not monetized because of content.
Or call 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group. 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-COCAINE 1. That's 888-COCAINE.
All righty. Welcome, everyone. Hour number 2 has begun. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, the longest-running radio show in Ron DeSantis' free Florida. Hour number 2 has begun, 7 after 7. It is Thursday, August 5th, 2021. We only have one opening on the board at 1-888-GO-KANE-1, K-A-N-E, and the number 1, 888-465-2631. So I'm going to go to the phones, and what we talked about in the first hour is this epic takedown of Joe Biden by the great governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis. I'll play the audio again later in the show. But before I bring up anything new, let me take some of these calls. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hi, Brian. It's Rolanda.
Hey, Rolanda. What's up?
Yeah, I'm going to shout out to my aunt. Today's her birthday, her 71st birthday.
Oh, my. Happy birthday. 71 isn't as old as it used to be to me, you know.
Yeah, well, she's a baby. She's like a...
That's like middle age now, 71.
Well, whatever, Brian. But I just wanted to say this. Hats off to Ron DeSantis. He doesn't have to prove anything to anyone. And as far as I'm concerned, as far as representation, I'm glad I made a decision in his behalf, because he is one heck of a governor. He really is. And just to know that, to me, he spoke truth to power back to President Biden, and he needed it. As for Ann Coulter, to me, she's always been a frosted flake. She was all over Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney at one point could do no wrong. As far as Donald Trump, her opinion of Donald Trump, a man who had us energy independent, who saw to it that the NAFTA agreements were renegotiated properly the way they should have been, had America working, and she said his presidency had something to be lacking. Something's wrong with her.
Yeah, I don't really get it. I mean, the never Trumperism is one thing during the primary, but I haven't heard it in a long time. But and I didn't hear this yesterday, but a caller heard her on with Buck Sexton yesterday, and it still continued. You know, President Trump's presidency was spectacular. I mean, I'm sorry he had the entire Democrat and Republican Party and the bureaucracy undermining him every step of the way. But think about everything he did that was great. He had a pandemic, phony impeachments, the Mueller and all this stuff, and he still got a lot incredible things done.
I mean, these people were continuously undermining him, but the man did manage to get us energy independent for the first time in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Statements like that, something's wrong with it.
Yeah, it's really sad because I always liked her, and I thought she was so good. And you know, I don't listen to never Trumpers. That's why I don't like Ben Shapiro.
She's great about typecasting, I guess, the liberal mindset. But as far as her opinions about leadership, I wouldn't listen to her, because if she thinks Mitt Romney is a leader.
Well, hey, listen, I voted for Mitt Romney and supported Mitt Romney in 2012. We didn't know what a creep he was. We had Mitt Romney at Wings Plus. He did an appearance. We were at Wings Plus on Sample Road in Coral Springs with Mitt Romney. And it was the last time I saw Rick Siderman alive, by the way. For those who remember Rick Siderman, he was there that day. The Republicans were, especially the women, were lined up around the block at Wings Plus to meet Mitt Romney. He was greeting everyone at the front door, and we didn't know what a creep he was.
Yeah, I guess Paul Ryan either, another creep. But
oh yeah,
for her analysis, in that direction. No, Brian. Yesterday you were talking about those women up in New York that are accusing the governor.
Yeah, Cuomo.
I was thinking back to my work experience, and I remembered a woman that a coworker, and she this particular person was dating one of the managers that we all knew. And if I make no mistake, he was married. And some of us, we were talking, back and forth as women do. And this is one of the reasons why I'm very skeptical about some women, so-called testimonies and whatnot. I'm not saying that, a woman should be believed up to a certain point. But to make a long story short, this particular person, she was dating one of the managers, and so we all, we said, you have to watch these workplace romances. And she said, well, if it doesn't work out, I'll just, sue, for sexual harassment, and I'll get my cut. Make a long story short, we ended up all getting an email about him being removed, or he's going on resigning and whatnot. And she later left the company and got a nice little salary and whatnot, and she did bring him up on charges.
This is what I don't get. I mean, most people meet at work. I mean, I always dated people I worked with, My wife was a listener. I met my wife through work, I guess, but she was a listener. But to the program, a groupie. She was my groupie, I call her. But I always dated people I worked with. And I'll tell you, I can remember, and this isn't just radio, although I've been in radio since I was 18 or 19, so my prior work experience mostly is, in the teenage era, but I could still see what was going on, and, people always dated at work, and, I even know of instances when I was in high school and I worked at Publix, okay? Sometimes at a Publix, you'll see a little window up above in the front of the store, up in front of the office area where where those cashiers are, and that's like where the cafeteria is. And if the lights are, you can see in sometimes. I remember one day we're all working at Publix, and two of the employees, a male and a female. This was the 80s, 90-ish, and we didn't have 83 genders. One of the cashiers was pleasuring one of my male coworkers right up there. They didn't know that everybody could see them right through the window, including customers. They didn't get fired. They got in trouble. They got yelled at, and it's a story. I'd forgotten about that story till just now. Yeah.
The key point is this particular person.
That's what happens.
He was sexually harassed.
Come on.
She got an attorney. The attorney represented her. She ended up getting a settlement, and he was out the door.
This is ridiculous. I mean, women. Women, how much time do women, right now, here we are, it's morning drive, it's 7:15. Women, how much time have you spent looking pretty this morning to go to work? I'm not saying that women deserve to be come on to by creepy guys, but come on. Women spend hours a day trying to look hot and sexy, and then a guy looks at them and they're like, you're done.
They know that a certain blouse low cut looks very well, or looks very sexy, and they do. They wear it right on into work. In many cases, to me, it's in a lot of people, it's inappropriate, and they know what they're doing. Some women really know what they're doing, and then when they get somebody says something to them, then they're talking about, well, I was sexually harassed, or I felt.
Whatever. All right, listen, Ron, I don't want to get sidetracked on that. Was kind of yesterday's topic, but thanks for the call. All right, let me get back to the phones. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Whatever. All right, listen, Ron, I don't want to get sidetracked on.
Oh, okay. So their material is putting the phone up to the radio so I can hear myself again. Yeah, okay. Good morning. You're on the radio. That caller's been on hold for 25 minutes, by the way. You would think at 25 minutes they'd have some material to troll me with. Hey, Andrea, what's up?
I'm so happy to be following Rolanda. She's just fantastic. I love her. She's a great caller. so good.
Oh,
Right?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're fantastic, Governor. He's just the best. He's just the best.
Oh, yeah. You know what? You know one thing they make fun of Ron DeSantis about? He has a very, they call it traditional, like it's a negative thing. He has a traditional marriage. His wife looks like a Southern Belle debutante type, and she's with him at a lot of appearances. Not as often as she used to be because the baby, but they don't like, because she's always behind him, and she's always dressed nice and classy and everything. You know, they're desperate to try to find something on Ron. They're terrified of Ron DeSantis. And yesterday really sent a shock to the liberal system.
Oh, I think so. And you know what? Good. And more red states should be doing things just like that. States should be kind of banding together and being like, no illegal immigrants, no to vaccine.
Now, but there's a difference, okay? Well, I'll use Greg Abbott, for example. Greg Abbott's doing a lot of good stuff in Texas, like Ron DeSantis in Florida. But Ron DeSantis, he's Trump too. He's charismatic. He is great in debate. If you ever see him go back and forth with these liberal fake news reporters, he's spectacular. He humiliates them every time. It's like watching Trump with Acosta. And you know, he has a skill set that is very rare. Trump has it. He has it. But most people don't have it. And that's why I say he's going to be our second MAGA president. And I wish that every Republican was that way, especially our governors. But even Kristi Noem, Kristi Noem said she talked about mandates yesterday, wasn't it, the day before? Ron DeSantis is very unique like Trump.
Well, this is what I see when I see Ron DeSantis paralleling to Trump. Trump is not afraid to have the hard conversations out loud. Right?
Yeah.
That's what it really is about Trump. Like, Trump's not afraid to say, we have a pandemic.
Yeah.
We're not shutting down the country. Like, Trump is not afraid to have hard conversations with American people.
Yeah.
Versus the installed regime that we have now who can't seem to get their story straight.
Well, watch the slanders against DeSantis start. Because yesterday, he does these press conferences every day. They're always that good. This one just went viral, and he really went after Biden. So now they really put him up a little higher on their list of people to bring down. Like, I remember when Palin was running and they were looking for dirt, they found out that when she was in college, she had sex with a black basketball player. And they put this story out thinking that, of course, Republicans are racist, and when they find out that she had sex with a black man, we would drop our support of Sarah Palin. Because they're so stupid. Look for stupid stories. I'm not saying that Ron DeSantis had sex with a black girl in college, but you're gonna find petty, stupid stories coming out about DeSantis now from the fake news media, trying to tarnish his reputation. And it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be laughable. Nothing is gonna stop this guy. If we were in Trump's second term right now, he'd be the nominee in 2024. And they're yeah.
I don't disagree with that. I myself question Greg Abbott. I really don't think he's all that great. I question what's taking so long to shut the border down. It's 7 months.
Well, the border. I think Greg Abbott's doing a great job. The border's federal. He just got shut down by a federal judge yesterday because he was stopping the transportation of illegals throughout Texas. A federal judge intervened. It says that's federal. All right, hey Andre, I got to run for a break, but thanks for the call. Okay, it's 21 minutes after the hour. We'll take our break and be back. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Stay tuned. Back after this.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, roofing, and restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Hi guys, it's Dr. Matez. Now that I've joined the Biostation West Delray, we're not just about making you feel good, we're all about making you look good too. Our practitioners are well trained and experienced in the use of Botox, fillers, platelet-rich plasma, microneedling lasers, as well as any modality out there. We even have a Miami plastic surgeon available for the big jobs. We can now make you look good to match the way we make you feel. So if you want to feel good and look good, call us at the Biostation West Delray at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893. And for a limited time only, if you're a Steve Kane listener, 10% off all cosmetic services. And if you happen to be a Steve Kane cruiser, we're going to give you another 10%. That's 20% off all cosmetic services leading up to the Steve Kane cruise.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show. And I was telling you yesterday, the incredible flash sale, Mike Lindell is calling it the sale of the year, going on at MyPillow.com with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And they called me up, was it Monday or Tuesday? I got a call from Mike Lindell's office, either Monday or Tuesday, and because of the falling out that he's had with Fox News, you may have seen he's losing $1 million a week over there by pulling his spots after they attempted to cancel him from Fox News, Mike Lindell. They've asked us to double our efforts, and this flash sale of the year at MyPillow.com with the promo code Kane, Kane, this is to support his event this month that he's having. And this is incredible. It's the MyPillow 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets, regular price $109.99, $110, just $49.99. That's right, just $49.99 with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. Every special you see there, you can take advantage of with the promo code Kane, but this is the lowest price ever. And also, MyPillow.com, when you use the promo code Kane, you got all these great deals. They also offer 0% financing on all orders over $50 at MyPillow.com. That's right, 0% financing available on all orders over $50. Make sure you use the promo code Kane at checkout. And one of our listeners that's in the Midwest yesterday asked how can they support the show? Well, a great way to support the Steve Kane Show for our out-of-town listeners is to go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, and take advantage of all these deals. Also, for those of you that listen to us online or watch us online on YouTube in the morning, our promo code Kane at checkout works both for those of you in Canada and in the UK. So if you're in the United Kingdom or Canada, the promo code Kane does work for you. Kane at checkout. All right. Yesterday I did something I've not done in months. And I'm going to start doing this again. And I did it yesterday for no reason at all. I don't know why I did it yesterday. After the show, I turned on our voicemail. And, I got a lot of messages yesterday. I'm going to play one for you in just a moment. I've not had our voicemail on in months. And the voicemail, we used to do, this was many years ago, at our old radio studio. we would turn our voicemail on when we were off the air, and people would leave us messages all day and all night, 7 days a week. And once a week, we would play our voicemail messages, and we used to call it our hate call segment, because a lot of liberal-minded people that don't have the guts to call us live on the air feel empowered just to leave a voicemail message, and our overnight listeners as well. And we used to do it once a week, and sometimes on holidays when Steve and I would take a day off and we would run best of shows, we would run sometimes 2 hours of just our voicemails. I know, but they're pretty good. And then for some when we were at our old place where we were at for so many years, the company that was there went out of business. But we were still there for a year after they were out of business, and a new company came in, and we stayed there with the new company for a while before we came here back to the radio station and all. But we stopped doing the voicemail because the one company went out of business, and then when we got the voicemail back, we never really got back into it again. So I'm going to play you one of the voicemail messages I got yesterday right now. And those of you that I'm going to start doing this every day from this point forward, and this will apply over the weekend. When Steve and I are not on the air live, the rest of the day, 7 days a week, I'm going to turn the voicemail on, and you cowardly liberals, you can call in and spill your guts. And if I find it interesting, I'll play it on the radio. Okay, like I'm going to play this call in just a moment. And it's the same call-in number, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. And it was a very interesting segment of the program. Okay, so here's the call I want to play. This guy, he used to call us a while back on the voicemail. And, funny thing about this guy, like I say, I have not had the voicemail on in months. At least 6 months. And I put it on yesterday, and boom, the calls started coming in fast. So I'm assuming a lot of these people have been calling for months and getting nothing. Now they're getting the voicemail. So listen to this. This is one of our listeners. He's a kind of a creepy guy, as you'll hear. Listen.
How you doing there, Greg? I used to talk to you a lot. I agree with at the number 2, Greg 2. He's got.
Now, right there, he's lost all credibility, because he has said in his voicemail message that he agrees with Greg 2. Anyone who agrees with Greg 2, it's all downhill for him.
How you doing there, Greg? I used to talk to you a lot. I agree with at the number 2, Greg 2. He's got your number. I don't think you're married. Your wife is your mother. No, you shouldn't tell your whole life story on your show. It's not good, because you tell stuff that's bad. You say to people that you take this stuff in your neck and it makes you 25 years old. So what's wrong? You have high blood pressure?
Okay, now slow down. He's obviously talking about hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Mitch Matez at the Bio Station. He doesn't give me something in the neck that makes me 25 years old. He inserts hormone replacement pellets, which are about the size of a grain of rice before you cook it. And they're inserted actually into my hip area, and they restore my hormone levels to where they were when I was 25. Okay, it doesn't turn me 25. It restores my hormone levels to where they were when I was 25, which gives me all this incredible energy and everything else that goes along with it.
I don't think you're married. Your wife is your mother. No, you shouldn't tell your whole life story on your show. It's not good, because you tell stuff that's bad. You say to people that you take this stuff in your neck and it makes you 25 years old. So what's wrong? You have high blood pressure or something like that? Now you're okay. You know why? Because you really a low IQ, and you did good for being a moron. You really did good. I'm not kidding you. But you think you know too much. You don't have no memory. You have no memory. You don't know nothing.
Okay, now he says, I don't know nothing, which is a double negative, which means I know everything.
I'm not ignorant. But you think you know too much. You don't have no memory. You have no memory. You don't know nothing. Without Google, you're a dead man. You know that? And your daughter, it's more you let with your daughter than your wife. So it's just a funny thing. You're like a girly man, a midget, and your feet stink. You're really a loser.
And my feet stink? What kind of strange thing is that to say? And your feet stink? That's a very unusual insult. How would someone know what my feet... I don't even know what my feet smell like.
Girly man, a midget, and your feet stink. No, you're really a loser, actually. You go to... You're so funny. It's so funny that I have to listen to how stupid you are. Yeah, 'cause...
Okay, yeah, there you go. Oh, my goodness. That's what we got to deal with. That's what what is your voicemail like at your work? Do you get calls like that on your voicemails at work when you go to work in the morning? That's what we get here on the Steve Kane Show. So listen, I've wanted to bring this segment back. Yeah, the guy's obviously got a foot fetish. He says my feet stink. I don't know of anyone who's been that close to my feet, except my dog who likes to smell my feet. But other than my dog, I don't know anyone that's been close enough to my feet to smell them like that, but apparently this guy has, which is really disturbing. So listen, I'd very much like to bring this segment back to the show. Okay, I want to bring this segment back to the show with our voicemail hate calls. So, and it was very strange. I turned the voicemail on yesterday for the first time in 6 months, and this guy and some others, they were right there. Leaving messages right away. So they must have been calling every day for 6 months, hoping they'd get that voicemail. So I am going to turn the voicemail on every day going forward after the show. So if you have something to share with us, feel free to call and leave a message. And if it's interesting, like I find that interesting or humorous, I will play it on the radio. All right, let's take our break for the bottom of the hour. If you're on hold, stand by. It is 34 minutes after 7. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Attention seniors and those who care about them. This is Brian.
Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
New service to tell you about called I Will Advocates. Debbie, what is I Will Advocates and how are you helping seniors?
Well, Brian, over the past few years of owning a Medicare insurance agency, we've learned that there's a huge need for Medicare advocacy, that a lot of people don't have a child or a spouse that can assist them with their medical needs, and that's where we step in.
There's a lot of things that seniors need help with. Prescriptions, doctor's appointments, things like this. How do you help them with that?
If you're having a problem at the doctor's office, having problems scheduling an appointment in a timely manner, we can step in. If you're having issues at the pharmacy, having problems refilling a prescription, or feel that you're being mischarged for something, you can contact us and we will step in. Even if you're at the hospital and you feel like you're being neglected, we'll be there for you at a touch of a button, whether it's to call the nurse's station or assist in any other way.
So if someone's in the hospital, they feel they're not getting the care that they need, they haven't seen their doctor, they haven't seen their nurse, they can actually call you and you'll contact the hospital for them?
Absolutely. We act as your family. We'll step up, we'll call the nurse's station and ask for some assistance. If we can't get anything done there, we'll go to the higher levels.
Now, this is a service that you're offering. Now, they do not have to be an existing client of I Will Advisors to take advantage of this, right?
Oh, of course not. No, we're here for any Medicare client. We can assist in any way. We don't need to be your insurance agent. We're just here to help you with your medical needs.
This is an incredible opportunity for those of you who are Medicare recipients. Debbie at I Will Advocates will help you with your prescriptions. You'll set up doctor's appointments for them, including the primary care physician and specialist, right?
Of course. We'll assist in anything helping you find new doctors.
They'll help you with your medical billing. They'll help you with your insurance billing. If you feel you've been billed wrong by
Oh,
your
yeah.
doctor, they'll step
The
in.
hate calls, they were great. Treasure Life just mentioned the hate calls. We would do hour and 2 hour long best of shows on holidays of just our hate calls.
That's amazing. I've never heard of anything like this before. So how much does
And after a while, people started getting creative.
You will have the security of knowing that you have an experience.
So you trolls out there in YouTube land, it's not until we go off the air. I'll probably turn it on like when I'm talking to Richard Pearl at the end of the show. just so I can remember to do it, every day.
1214, or go online. You can sign up online at iwilladvocates.com. That's iwilladvocates.com.
Steve Kane Show.
All right, we're coming back.
To you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing?
Yeah, the feet stink.
Call the Siegel
That's
Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida.
That's a strange one. Wesley, $5 super chat. Good morning, Brian. I think you're on to something. I think your ratings will skyrocket with the new feature, the voicemail. Yeah, all of you YouTube trolls, the voicemail is great for you. All right, we are back 36 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, the longest running radio show in Ron DeSantis' is free Florida. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey, Brian. Yeah, I just heard that thing that you just played with the messages. Yeah, you need to start doing that so you can expose all those liberals. It's Steve from Coral Springs, man. How you been?
All right. I mean, I don't know what it is with this guy who said my feet stink. That's very strange. Foot fetish?
Yeah. Hey, Brian, let me ask you a question. Has C-SPAN ever reached back out to you to have another segment? Because I remember, watching that thing on YouTube, and you did a great job.
Yeah, I do have my C-SPAN show on my YouTube channel, if you go to check that out. But no, they've not called me back to be back on C-SPAN. That was back in April, and I haven't done a lot of television. I mean, I've been on TV before, but I've never been on my first appearance on television was actually in 1976. I was on the Howdy Doody show. I was in the Peanut Gallery on the Howdy Doody show, and I was in a television commercial that aired for 10 years in South Florida for the Grand Prix Racerama arcade that used to be in Davie. But no, I've been on TV, but I've never been on television debating and taking live calls. And I was a little nervous about it because I'd never done that. And C-SPAN tried to set me up with these never-Trumpers, fake conservatives, and liberals, and I thought I filleted every one of them, if I say so myself.
I would, I know you say about getting Trump, and that would be awesome to get Trump on your show. But I would like you. I think you and Greg Kelly would do a great segment. I would like to see him on your radio.
Greg Kelly?
Oh yeah, man. I think he's one of my favorites now. I mean, I stopped listening to Hannity. I mean, the only time I'll listen to Hannity if Mark Levin's on there, but I think Greg Kelly is like one of the best informative guys that you can.
Oh yeah, he's my favorite. And Eric, I watched. I keep forgetting about Eric Bowling, and I haven't caught his show as much as I'd like, and I got to make it part of my routine. But I watched it yesterday, and his first couple shows were a little rough, but his show yesterday was spectacular. Greg Kelly's the best on Newsmax.
And I'm so proud of the best governor and our future president, DeSantis, what he said to Biden yesterday. I'm glad he said that to him about come get me, because somebody needs to, tell this worst president of ever, Joe Biden, off. I mean, it's just happy for.
Oh yeah. All right, appreciate the call, Steve in Coral Springs. Appreciate that. And everyone always says this is the worst president, that's the worst president. A lot of people say Carter was the worst president. I would say Biden is the worst president of my adult lifetime. I don't believe he's the worst president ever. Worst president is Lyndon Johnson, because Lyndon Johnson set up the welfare system that's just destroyed this country, with the war on poverty. But he is the worst president of my adult lifetime. And he's also, Biden, the only president that's like sabotaging the country so openly. I mean, it's what Ron DeSantis said. After, they got these COVID lockdowns and everything, and he's bringing through a couple million people, thousands of them with COVID from the southern border, and spreading them all over America. So, he's doing a super spreader event and bringing back a pandemic that was ended by the great President Donald Trump. I've never seen anybody in the Oval Office do something so crazy and destructive to America. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good. What's your name?
This is Maria.
Oh, yeah, Maria from Florida. Hey, Maria.
Yes, I am so happy at Ron DeSantis. Oh, my God. I am so proud of him. This guy is amazing. He's an amazing governor. He's our future president. Trust me.
Oh, yeah.
Guy is just so amazing. And I like the fact how he told the truth about what's going on at the border. It is so disgusting. And for Joe Biden to even try to make fingers at this guy, listen, you can't touch this guy. You might well go ahead on with your lying little finger presidency and go about your business because you can't touch it.
Well, yeah, all right, MC Hammer, can't touch this. Well, you know, the left, the never-Trumpers and the Democrats have been pushing Ron DeSantis to be the nominee in 2024 because they're trying to cause the great MAGA divide between him and Trump. That's going to stop now. Ron DeSantis scared the hell out of him yesterday. Scared the hell out of him.
He put fear in there, and not only he put fear in, he let the media know you can't walk around telling lies on good people. You've been doing this for a while, and I'm sick and tired of it. And he let them know that you can't continue doing it. And he said, I will stand up for the parents and the children. Leave the children alone. Let the parents make the decision.
Well, the liberals don't like that. The Democrats, you know, the liberal school teachers, how many times do you hear them refer to their students as their kids? They're not their kids. They're not your kids. Not even while they're at school. They're not your kids. They're your students. But they're not your kids.
When my children were little, I didn't have that problem. I feel for these parents that got these little children, like my grandchildren, going to school, and you can't even tell your children what to do. You got the teacher telling your children what to do. This is foolishness, and I'm so...
Well, you know, the Democrats always use children, and the reason they use children is because their minds are not developed, and they can brainwash them into their way of thinking. A few years back, when Obama was president, the Democrats started getting pediatricians to asking their patients who were children if their parents had guns at home, and if they did, how many and what kind. Remember that? And I told my daughter, do not tell them. Tell them none. It's none of their business. Zero. Because the Democrats are always using kids. You know, and when I was a kid, I thought that was cool. You know, I thought that was cool. I was talking to my wife yesterday. They had all these stupid kids with AOC at the Capitol steps the other day. Remember the one where she put the mask on when they were going to take a picture? Didn't have a mask on until the camera came out. And I remember when Bill Clinton was president, this was a long time ago, it was just when he was first president, Cindy Crawford, who's like a great-grandmother now, but Cindy Crawford was doing a report for MTV, and she went to the White House and was interviewing all the young people that worked for Bill Clinton. And they were all these young MTV generators, and I thought that was so cool and hip that this guy's 21, he's a White House photographer and all this stuff, you know. You know, the Democrats always have young people around them. Well, a lot of them are creepy, like Clinton and Cuomo, but because they can mold their minds. But you know, I'll tell you, like with the black vote, with President Trump, the Democrats have lost a whole bunch of the youth vote. They really have. They really, truly have.
Yeah, and you know what I think the Republicans, the establishment Republican need to do? If you're not on the American people's side, if you're not a patriot, if you're not a trumpet, you get out the way, because we're going to push.
Okay, all right. That's another example of me keeping a caller on for just a beat too long. Now, I was telling you guys yesterday that Steve had a COVID scare in his family. One of his children, she got the COVID, and her whole family got it. Her kids, her husband, the whole family, they got the COVID, and they were hanging out with Steve and Steve's wife, Lori. And on Monday, they were worried that they had COVID, so they went over to any lab test now of Coral Springs, and Steve and Lori, and they got the COVID test, and they were negative, by the way. They were negative, which is good news, but they got the results in 15 minutes, and let me tell you, they were really panicked. I talked to both Lori and Steve Monday morning after the show. They were both in a panic and hysterical. Who wants to get the COVID, right? And they went over there to any lab test now of Coral Springs. They got the COVID test. They got the results on the spot in 15 minutes. And I talked to him right after, and it was like, you could tell, it was just like talking to different people. like talking to different people. And it's just that relief. Now, any lab test now of Coral Springs and any lab test now of Boca. There are lots of any lab tests now. Those are the only two advertising on the Steve Kane Show. They guarantee the lowest price on all of their thousands of tests. They do all the lab tests you can imagine. I go there for my regular lab test. My daughter, my wife go to any lab test now of Boca for their regular lab test too. And no appointment is necessary. They're open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. They have all the different COVID testings you need, no matter what you need COVID testing for, to travel, for work. Do your kids need tested for school? They offer all of them at the guaranteed lowest prices. And of course, you get those results. Now, again, there's some specialty tests that might take a little longer. But most of these tests you get right on the spot. They do the saliva test as well. So, no needles for that saliva test. And any lab test now at Coral Springs is where Steve and Lori went on Monday. It's on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall. If you have any questions, the number is 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, which is south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Their number, 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. We'll be right back.
Checked the temperature this morning before I left. The high today is going to be almost 90 degrees here in South Florida. The hot weather, it's already here, and it's only going to get hotter. On the line from Cut My Kilowatts, we have Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. He's going to tell you how he can save you big money on your electric bill.
We're facing the onslaught of summer here, and a lot of people are going to be noticing that, if they haven't noticed already, that their air conditioner is running non-stop, fighting to keep the house cool. A lot of times the air conditioner can't even keep up with the heat gain. Like you'll have the temperature set in your house at 74.
Be right back, guys.
The thermostat will be at 76 or 77 or even 78.
Yeah.
Even as high as 80. So what we do is cutmykilowatts.com, and we've been doing radio and barrier in South Florida for 10 years. I mean, we did Steve Kane's house probably 10 years ago when I first started doing this in South Florida. Radio and barrier stops the heat gain in the house, lowers the temperature in the attic 30 to 40 degrees, literally cuts the AC runtime in half, and a lot of money.
Let's explain to people what radiant barrier is. We have known Scott from Cut My Kilowatts for well over a decade. He's with us every summer here on the Steve Kane Show. In the heat of the summer, the attic, how hot does an attic get during the summer, Scott?
It can get, depending on what kind of roof it has, with a shingle or tile, shingle being the hottest, 140, 150, you even see 160 degrees.
Yeah, and what that does is that 150, 160 degree heat in your attic makes your ceiling hot, and of course your air conditioning ducts are in your ceiling. It heats them up, and it makes your air conditioner work longer, harder, causing your electric bill going up.
Steve Kane Show.
To keep your house cool. So Scott has the radiant barrier.
I just went to heat up my coffee.
And how it works.
Radiant barrier is like a big aluminum foil tarp that goes on the underside of the roof deck below the trusses, so there's an air gap so it doesn't damage the roof. And it basically just turns the heat wave that comes down off the roof around and pushes it back up out the roof.
Just heated up my coffee in the microwave.
A white shingle reflective roof. You see those white roofs on people's houses? They put them on because it cuts their electric bill 25-30%. Same thing with radiant barrier. You put it in on the underside of your roof deck. It's like $1 a square foot. I mean, you've got a special, if you spend 1,000 square feet or more, you get an additional $500 off. So, it's very reasonable. It's very affordable. This time of year, you're getting it for half price, plus you're getting additional money off. We also do traditional insulation, and we do ductwork. So we can do like the complete job in your attic, whatever you need up in your attic. Insulation, ductwork, radiant barrier, we can do the whole package.
Now listen,
we do that for a lot.
It's getting hot today. It's going to be about 88, 89 degrees here in South Florida. We're not in the hottest heat of the summer yet. We will be soon. And because of that, Scott, he's offering a great discount before it gets super, super hot, because as it gets hotter and hotter, it's more difficult for his crew to work in the attic. Now, it's not quite as hot. They can get the work done faster, can spend more time in the attic. I'm going to give you Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. I'm going to give you his website and his number. If you miss this, it's listed at SteveKaneShow.com.
First, you can give Scott a call at 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. Online, cutmykilowatts.com. And again, listed at stevekaneshow.com. Scott will save you money on your electric bill this and every summer. All right, Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, have a great day. We will talk later in the week.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, welcome back. It is 9 minutes before 8. I'm Brian. Steve will be joining us after the top of the hour break. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Welcome. If you are new here, this is the most pro-Donald Trump radio show you will find anywhere. We broadcast live on the radio 3 hours every morning from 6 until 9 a.m. here on the radio in South Florida. You can listen to us on AM 1470, 95.3 FM, and 96.9 on the FM radio dial. We're also on the air 7 nights a week with an overnight rebroadcast midnight till 6 a.m. on those radio stations. You can also check us out on the iHeartRadio app as well as the TuneIn app. And you can find us there live in the mornings and the overnight rebroadcast by searching for our radio station call letters, WWNN. 2 W's and 2 N's. You can also catch Richard Pearl those same ways weekdays at noon on our radio station for his show. And if you want to watch us live in high definition, go to my YouTube channel, Brian Craig, where not only can you see me, but we have a very opinionated chat room that's very active in there, commenting on everything we're discussing in real time, which is a lot of fun. Okay, so we've been talking about the greatest governor ever. And I mean that. I've been saying that for a long time. Ron DeSantis is not just the greatest governor Florida's ever had, and we've had good governors. Jeb Bush, before he became such a weirdo, never Trumper, was a very good governor. Rick Scott was spectacular, getting us prepared for the hurricane and everything. He did great stuff. Rick Scott, I mean, my goodness, he made hurricanes a breeze here in Florida. Last hurricanes we had, we didn't lose power, didn't run out of gas. But Ron DeSantis is the greatest governor ever, not just of Florida, but of any state. Any state, ever, in the history of this land, I'm here to tell you. And I mean that. He's so good. And day before yesterday, Joe Biden came out and attacked the governor of Texas and the great Ron DeSantis. Here's Biden.
The escalation of cases is particularly concentrated in states with low vaccination rates. Just 2 states, Florida and Texas, account for 1/3 all new COVID-19 cases in the entire country. Just 2 states. Look, we need leadership from everyone. If some governors aren't willing to do the right thing to beat this pandemic, then they should allow businesses and universities who want to do the right thing to be able to do it. I say to these governors, please help. If you aren't going to help, at least get out of the way.
Oh, get out of the way.
Who are trying to do the right thing. Use your power to save lives.
Okay, so that was Biden. Use your, again, this whispering thing Biden does every time he talks just drives me nuts. Use your power to save lives. Sounds like a horror movie. Like remember the voiceover guy for the movie trailers a long time ago? In a world where MAGA rules, save lives. What a weirdo. It's just a strange cat, Biden. So our great governor, the greatest governor ever, Ron DeSantis, came out and just told Biden off yesterday. And this moment of Ron DeSantis has gone viral worldwide. Gone viral worldwide. And it's spectacular. So let's play. We got enough time to play before the time. Yeah, we do. Okay, here we go. Here's Governor Ron DeSantis yesterday calling out Biden.
I just want to say something quickly. Joe Biden has taken to himself to try to single out Florida over COVID. This is a guy who ran for president saying he was going to, quote, shut down the virus. And what has he done? He's imported more virus from around the world by having a wide open southern border. You have hundreds of thousands of people pouring across every month. And it's not just from Mexico. In fact, it's rarely from Mexico. You have over 100 different countries where people are pouring through. Not only are they letting them through, they're then farming them out all across our communities across this country, putting them on planes, putting them on buses. Do you think they're being worried about COVID for that? Of course not. So he's facilitating. Who knows what new variants are out there, but I can tell you whatever variants are around the world, they're coming across that southern border. And so he's not shutting down the virus, he's helping to facilitate it in our country.
Okay, now to stop that, I mean, Ron DeSantis, I mean, it's the elephant in the room. It's what everybody knows that no one's talking about. Biden, with the southern border crisis, is involved in a super spreader nationwide event. And then he has the balls to come out and blame DeSantis and Greg Abbott. This guy's involved in the biggest super spreader event in the history of pandemics because he's doing it with his knowledge.
Knows what new variants are out there, but I can tell you whatever variants are around the world, they're coming across that southern border. And so he's not shutting down the virus, he's helping to facilitate it in our country. And what is his big solution? What is he so upset about Florida? His solution is he wants to have the government force kindergartners to wear masks in school. He doesn't believe the parents should have a say in that. He thinks that should be a decision for the government. Well, I can tell you in Florida, the parents are going to be the ones in charge of that decision.
That's right, the parents.
One of the major medical people in his administration just recently told parents that they should be wearing masks at home when they're around their own children. This is insane. Joe Biden also believes that vaccination should be mandated by force of government and that you should have to show vaccination status to be able to participate in society. Now, Florida, we're very proud of our Seniors First strategy. You look at the mortality in nursing homes among seniors, it's declined dramatically. But we said from the beginning, we're going to make it available for all, but we're not going to mandate it on anybody. That's ultimately an individual's choice to be able to do it. Biden...
See, now this is interesting. See, what Ron DeSantis is saying is something Democrats have been saying my entire life. That is a medical decision between you and your doctor. Sound familiar?
We're very proud of our Seniors First strategy. You look at the mortality in nursing homes among seniors, it's declined dramatically. But we said from the beginning, we're going to make it available for all, but we're not going to mandate it on anybody. That's ultimately an individual's choice to be able to do it. Biden, he rejects science because he denies the fact that people that recover from COVID have long-lasting immunity. And that's been proven time and time again, and the data is very clear. So his vision is, just like in New York City, restaurants should ban young kids from being able to go in because they're not eligible for vaccination, and law-abiding citizens have to produce proof of their medical records just to go to the gym or attend an event or just to participate in everyday society. He wants that, but yet if you want to vote, he thinks it's too much of a burden to show a picture ID when you're voting. So no voter ID, but have to show your medical papers just to be able to live in everyday life? Give me a break. And so I think the question is we can either have a free society or we can have a biomedical security state.
I like that.
We're a free state. People are going to be free to choose to make their own decisions about themselves, about their families, about their kids' education, and about putting food on the table. And Joe Biden suggests that if you don't do lockdown policies, then you should, quote, get out of the way. But let me tell you this. If you're coming after the rights of parents in Florida, I'm standing in your way. I'm not going to let you get away with it. If you're trying to deny kids a proper in-person education, I'm going to stand in your way, and I'm going to stand up for the kids in Florida. If you're trying to restrict people, impose mandates, if you're trying to ruin their jobs and their livelihoods and their small business, if you are trying to lock people down, I am standing in your way, and I'm standing for the people of Florida. So why don't you do your job? Why don't you get this border secure? And until you do that, I don't want to hear a blip about COVID from you. Thank you.
There you go. Yeah. There's your second MAGA president, people. He's going to be Donald Trump's vice president in 24, our nominee and president in 28. Oh, man, Ron DeSantis. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Sandra from Boca.
Hey, Sandra, what's up?
Question. With regard, I love DeSantis this speech.
Oh, yeah.
Today. Oh my God, I was so.
I played it twice on the air today, and I've gotten goosebumps at both times.
Yeah, I mean, the guy is like, I've never seen such a real governor in my whole life, like keeping it so real on what he's going to do. But my question is this, when he says that he's not going to enforce mandates, because I called you last week and I said already they were enforcing mandates in my employer, does he have the power to supersede that and say, you know what, you're not going to be mandating vaccines at companies in Florida? Does he have the power to do that?
No, he has said from the beginning with the mask mandates that there won't be state-required or government mandates, but private businesses can do what they want. So that's the way it is. I mean, a lot of companies are doing it. Your company is not alone. A lot of companies are requiring vaccines now.
I think what happened was, Brian, remember when I told you there was the announcement? I think it's being used as a strategy, if you don't mind me saying, because after the announcement was made, a bunch of people folded and went and got the vaccine.
Yes.
And there's been no set date, no real enforcement at this point. But I think they wanted to see how many people would comply.
Well, when you tell people, this is the problem with that mandate. You tell people you've got to go and get a certain medical treatment or you can't feed yourself or your kids or pay your mortgage, rent, or car payment. That's like a shakedown. That's what Stormy Daniels was trying to do to Trump. It's, you know, that's like extortion.
And my sister yesterday was diagnosed with COVID.
Oh.
I told her because of where she works, she should have been vaccinated.
What kind of work was she in? What did she do?
Retail. And since the Delta variant has spread, they have not curbed the amount of people going into the store. It is a madhouse in there.
Yeah. You know, since I've been vaccinated, not only have I gone shopping in retail, I've tried clothes on in stores and everything else.
It's ridiculous. But anyway.
Okay. Well, listen, I got to run for the break. I'm already late, but thank you for the call. All right, we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. Steve Kane will be joining us after the break. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, the longest-running radio show in Ron DeSantis' free Florida. We'll be back with our third and final hour of today's program after this.
Got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older...
Now, guys, listen. I am going to enlist your help. Okay? All of you who are subscribed to my YouTube channel. I believe, now this is just me, okay? I believe that this should be the MAGA show of record for YouTube. I just believe that, okay? And I'm going to ask you guys to help me make that a possibility and real, okay? So, hold on. So, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Get all of your friends and family to subscribe. Get on Gab and Gitter and Twitter and Facebook. Get everyone you're connected to subscribe to my channel. And let's make this the MAGA show of record, because I think it should be. It's just, you know.
Hi, this is Lori Kane, and I want to talk to you about Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. I just love Dr. Gupta. I've been seeing him for around 3 years. He always has time for me. He never does unnecessary work, and his prices are very affordable. And if you need implants, go see him because he has the best prices around. Let me give you the number. Write it down. It's 954-922-4633. That's That's 954-922-4633, BrightonDentalCare.com. He's just the best.
Hey guys, Brian Craig here. I have the MyPillow slippers at Mike Lindell. He's right. These are the most comfortable slippers I've ever worn. And you can get them for
Well, thank you, Wookiees, Dad. I appreciate that. No, I'm serious. I want this to be the MAGA show of record on YouTube. And to do that,
Brian, I have the MyPillow slippers, and I have neuropathy. These are fantastic.
to do that, I need your help. Sorry, I was just reading. I'm getting text messages from people.
What is neuropathy and what are the symptoms?
Well, the nerves in your feet start going bad, and it affects your balance, and it's painful.
So you're wearing the MyPillow, My Slippers, which, by the way, 40
1 hour to go.
and it's helped with your neuropathy.
Yes, it is. It's much. I have to wear slippers at home. I can't go barefoot or even with socks on. Wow.
Well, I believe I already am the MAGA show of record. But what I would like to do is go from over 40. I have 44,300 subs. I'd like to get that up to 50 to 100,000. You know, I mean, no one takes live calls like I do. No one takes live calls like I do. You know, we'll talk to everybody. And don't forget, I'm going to do a live stream again when I get off the air this morning. So make sure you got the notification bell clicked so you get the notification for that.
Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel and the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Again,
You are listening to South Florida's
no,
longest...
we don't need to be made great again. This show's already the greatest. But, you know, we need more people to know about it. I'm serious. Get all your friends and family to subscribe. Does your wife have an account? Your husband have an account? Make sure they're subscribed. All righty. Third and final hour has begun. And from the Steve Kane Cooper City radio studio, we have Steve. You with us, Steve? Okay, I was going to do a bigger introduction, but I wasn't sure you were there, so I wanted to... now, live from the Steve Kane Cooper City radio studio. Oh, yeah, Laporta... We should actually call it... Maybe we should rename... That's an idea. Let's do this. Okay, we'll call it... Broadcasting live from the Steve Kane Laporta Contracting Studio in Cooper City. Because, you know, I got to tell you, Steve, I didn't want to tell you this before. Because, before you met Tom Laporta. Last time I went to your house, it smelled really bad. And I didn't say anything to you. Because, it's not polite. And Tom Laporta, when he first went to your house, I was talking to him after he left. And he said, I walked in, it smelled like black mold all over the place. I couldn't believe. You know, and now I'm sure I haven't been there since the renovations yet. I've seen the photographs and everything. It looks spectacular. But you didn't realize you had that moldy smell because you were so used to it. But you're black mold free now. Black mold free. I mean, you're going to see your health improve probably because black mold's deadly, and you've been breathing that in. I mean, it's crazy. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Yeah, all right, well, welcome back. We're in our third and final hour. So Ron DeSantis is really kicking butt. Oh my goodness. Isn't he?
Never seen a news cycle like this. I mean, it excites me, and every day is something to look forward to when you come to work in terms of a new topic to get into, a new aspect.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing I worry about is the end game.
We already got that, the end game. Yeah.
In the end, how can I put this? In the end, the end is only going to be as positive as the American people make it. I mean, this is a test. If we're really being tested. We're being tested in our educational system, being tested.
Yeah.
Is throughout our society now. This have really prepared well to take us on.
Yeah.
And if it's going to be interesting to.
But you know what, Steve? If you look at our bench and you look at their bench, look what they got. They got Cuomo and Kamala. We've got Donald Trump. He's our starter. We've got Ron DeSantis. We got Kristi Noem. We got Greg Abbott. I mean, you know, come on.
It's. I think it's going to end well. But
Yeah.
It's scary. It's scary. The consequences of letting these creeps take over the country.
Now I've gotten several messages from listeners today who have asking a personal question about you, and as opposed to I just bring it up on the air. What the hell? What?
No question.
Okay. Well, that's not an answer. It's an explanation. Now this week, you know, you had a big COVID scare in your family because one of your kids, she got the COVID and exposed you and Lori. And we've been talking, and you went and got COVID tested on Monday, DNA lab test now in Coral Springs, and we've been, and here it is Thursday. We've been talking all week. People have been asking me all week. I've just been ignoring it, and not addressing it. But I've been sick. Well, I'm getting to it. I'm also cleverly turning this into a spot for any lab tests now of Coral Springs, just so you know. Okay. Okay. I'm not supposed to have to tip you off. The spot's supposed to be so good that you don't even know it's a spot. Yeah, well, it's not now, but that's okay. But I've been saying all week that Steve and his wife, Lori, went to any lab test now of Coral Springs and got COVID testing, got the results in 15 minutes on the spot. And people are saying, wait a minute, when did Steve get married? I've been getting this question all week. When did Steve get married? So I don't know, do you want to give them an explanation or not?
Well, I kind of put me on the spot there.
I know. I told you, they've been asking a personal question. You said you'd deal with personal stuff on the air.
I don't know, 40 years, something.
You were never divorced from Lori, is the answer. Yeah.
I always loved Lori.
Yeah, never got divorced. That's the thing. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. I don't know.
Very dogged, when I, you know.
What'd you say? Yeah, okay, dog. Well, yeah, so, yeah. Yeah, so Steve's been married the whole time. Just, you know, there's just been a arrangement, I guess. For lack of a better word. An arrangement.
Evolving.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Well, let's not say too much. But I just wanted to, people have been asking me all week. Well, no, a lot of our new listeners have been asking me this week. When did Steve get married? You didn't tell us. So I just thought we'd give that. All right, so let me get to some of the other audio I've not gotten to today. This Democrat mayor in Boston, Kim Janey, black mayor, she came out yesterday. The Democrats are in trouble big time because what's going on with the Democrats is they're eating their own. And, you know, the Democrats have been spreading all kinds of racial propaganda for decades and decades. And now it's in this COVID period we're in, a lot of it's coming back. So Mayor de Blasio, who's I don't know how this guy became Duke of New York up there, but he's an incompetent just fool, and he came out with this COVID passport, and black people are pretty upset because black people that are Democrats, liberal black people, don't like any type of identification for some reason. It's always about black codes and stuff. So the black Democrat mayor of Boston, she came out and responded to de Blasio, and her name's Kim Janey, and I think they said she's the acting mayor. I don't know what that's about, but she's becoming a national figure now, a national player, and here she is addressing de Blasio, requiring there's less than 40% of blacks in New York are vaccinated, so black people nationwide are making this de Blasio passport business a civil rights issue. And so this is the black lady mayor of Boston addressing de Blasio's COVID passport requirements. If you don't have the passport, you can't eat, You can't drink, you can't go to work. Here she is.
Long history in this country of people needing to show their papers.
The mayor then references slavery, former President Trump, and birtherism.
During slavery, post-slavery, as recent as, what the immigrant population has to go through here. We heard Trump with the birth certificate nonsense. Here, we want to make sure that we are not doing anything that would further create a barrier for residents.
In Cambridge, one restaurant tells us it is requiring proof of vaccination for indoor dining.
For us to be competitive, to take steps to put those policies in place ourselves as businesses, gives us a competitive advantage.
The owner says if cases go up, it threatens the business and the safety of employees and customers.
The spread of disease is what will kill the restaurant business and what will kill our ability to send children back to school safely.
In Boston, Mayor Janey wouldn't say either way if a mandate was coming, preferring instead to focus on access.
We want to make sure that we are giving every opportunity for folks to get vaccinated. When it comes to what businesses may choose to do, we know that those types of things are difficult to enforce when it comes to vaccine.
Now, tonight, mayoral candidate Andrea Campbell tweeting this kind of rhetoric is dangerous, showing proof of vaccination is not slavery or birtherism. And candidate Michelle Wu saying anyone in a position of leadership should...
Okay, so the reason I played, that's when people were asking, and Trump was doing this for Obama's birth certificate. People had this crazy idea that before you were given the nuclear football, you must show what I've had to show many times in my life, a birth certificate to prove you are like a natural-born U.S. citizen, and then they give you the nuclear football. But that's what birtherism is. But by the way, are there any men in Boston? Yeah, the mayor's a lady. Everyone running's a lady. Where have all the men in Boston gone? But de Blasio is going to reverse his mandate thing because he's got black Democrats calling him a racist now, and and calling him Bull Connor here with this thing. So he's a big. It's going to get reversed, but there's a big divide inside the Democrat circles, white versus black, because liberal blacks are not getting vaccinated because of all the Tuskegee experiment rhetoric they've been brainwashing them with for 100 years. and so there's a big divide. There's a civil war inside the Democrat Party over this. It's great. I love it.
Going on for a while.
No, it's not like this. You've never seen. This woman is the sitting mayor of Boston. She's a black Democrat, and she's going after the white liberal Democrat mayor of New York, calling him a racist, comparing him to a Jim Crow guy openly. This is a new level we've never been at, and they are in big trouble. Now, one thing that can help everybody out there is getting the best night's sleep ever. And Mike Lindell, he's having what he is calling his sale of the year, and it's also a flash sale, which means it will be gone in a flash. The 100% Giza cotton dream sheets from MyPillow that I have, my wife ordered another set this week because of this special. They're normally $109.99, $110, and they're worth every penny of that, believe me. The ones I have, we paid the full price on because we didn't have this sale going on, and they are the best sheets I've ever slept on. You've heard me talk to Steve about it many times. The sale of the year, Mike Lindell is offering these sheets not for $110, just $49.99. So it's a good opportunity to go out and buy two sets for less than what one cost a little while ago. This is the sale of the year. It is a flash sale, just $49.99. They come in many different colors. The set we have now is white. My wife ordered a blue pair of the MyPillow Giza Cotton Dream Sheets, and they called me up the beginning of the week. Mike Lindell's office called me up and told me that this particular Giza Dream Sheets special is to financially support Mike Lindell's big event that he has coming up this month. Okay? It's specifically for that. And Mike Lindell personally asked us here on the Steve Kane Show to double up our efforts, since what they did on Fox, he had to pull all his spots from Fox News when they were trying to cancel him out. And also share the message about this incredible Giza Dream Sheet offer, just $49.99 with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. You can also order by phone, 1-800 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. We'll be right back.
Steve Kane radio listeners love Champagne Automotive in Boca.
I went over to Champagne Automotive, and I got to say that this man is the most fair mechanic I have dealt with in my entire life. We took a car over there that was not being used yet. You know, it belonged to my 90-year-old dad. Everybody I had taken it to before was charging an astronomical amount of money. But when we took it over there, Eddie took a look at it, and I got to say that this man fixed the car kind of like a charm. Anybody that needs a mechanic, I strongly recommend Eddie, and he is just the best thing that's happened to this family as far as car maintenance goes. It's fixed. Bottom line, it's fixed, and the price was right.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your car that your car doesn't need. And their prices are low. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Give them a call. 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. Brian Craig here. Conservative Doug called me up live on the air to tell me about his experience at Friendly Tire.
I had two ball tires in the back of my Infiniti. So I called them up, and I always check prices first. Half the price of everybody else.
Half the price? Half the price at Friendly Tire. Wow.
Half the price, and not only that, his tires, which nobody had, the tires I was looking at, had any mileage guarantee. His is 60,000 mile warranty. So they're not only half the price, the price is good.
So you're a repeat customer over there at Friendly Tire. You bought new tires, right? So you bought new tires, because they also sell used tires, starting at just $30 for most places. But you bought new tires, and they were half the price at Friendly Tire than at the other tire shops around town. That is phenomenal, and came with a 60,000 mile warranty on the tires. That's great. And of course, Friendly Tire, they never charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or dispose of your old tires. The price that they give you are out the door and on the road.
Everybody should go. I don't know how anybody can buy tires anyplace else. This guy is the best prices.
That's right. That's right. Listen, give Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire a call. His number, 954-977-9445. He'll give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net, or you can just stop right in. The address is listed at stevekaneshow.com. 5415 Northwest 15th Street in Margate, and that's just a little north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Well, Conservative Doug, thanks so much, and I'm glad you got such a great deal on your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate. Steve Kane Show.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show.
Hold on. Oh, hey, Barry.
Radio. Just search for
All righty, and it's time to check in with attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Hey, Barry.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing great. Now, you were telling us the other day, you got your workshops coming up, less than 2 weeks away, and you said the first one on revocable living trust was starting to fill up, but there were vacancies for the second one for the Medicaid planning.
Yeah, and there's so many misconceptions when it comes to Medicaid planning. People all the time come in and they think they have to be broke. They think they have too much money, they can't qualify, and they jump to the conclusion that Medicaid is not an option for their family to protect their assets to help pay some of those long-term care costs. And also a lot of people have the misconception that there's a 5-year look-back period, and because of that 5-year look-back period, they won't be able to qualify for sometime up to 5 years. And that may not be true as well. So you could actually have assets, you can have income over and above the Medicaid limit, and you can qualify inside of 5 years. You just have to know how to do it.
Yeah, and when it comes to Medicaid planning, it can cover both at-home and nursing home care. And in Florida, what's nursing home care going for a month these days?
Well, from what I've seen at the very, very low end, you may be looking at $17,000 a month, and we see it go above $15,000 a month. So
yeah,
it's very destroyed someone financially.
Yeah, and I've seen, sadly, more than once, in anyone who's in Florida, we have the oldest population in America, so everybody has a story. But one of the spouses, they become ill, they need nursing home or at home care, and they pass and they're broke. and the surviving spouse is left penniless. And it doesn't have to be that way. Attorney Barry Siegel and the Siegel Law Group, coming up, they have a free Medicaid planning seminar Tuesday, August 17th at 2 p.m. In Del Rey. Seating is limited, so you need to call and reserve your spot. So call the Siegel Law Group, reserve your spot. They'll give you all the details, including detailed directions. 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782 and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Barry, we'll talk tomorrow. All right, take care. Take care. Yeah, did you see that video of the lady Olympic wrestler that was praising America and had the flag around her?
Video. It hasn't, as I suspected, it hasn't gotten the circulation that I would have liked.
No. Yeah.
Tears to my eyes. Finally, an American athlete that's proud of her country.
Of America. And, you know, I'll tell you. Oh, yeah. And she wrapped herself in the flag, and I don't think there'll be a Nike endorsement for her. You know, they got Kaepernick. You know, if she would have taken the flag, the American flag, dropped it on the ground and stomped on it, then Nike would be banging her door down. But I got some sad news to report to the liberals out there. We have two more Olympian medalists. One won gold, the other won silver. They wrapped themselves in the American flag, and they gave all the glory to God. Now, one of them, her name's Mohammed, so she gave glory to, but the other one's a Christian girl, so they both gave glory to God. It's the same God, and they both are wrapped with their own individual American flags. So these critical race theorist losers, that aren't medaling, they seem to be a minority among the medalists. It seems to me that the ones that are not great athletes, that are losers, like our soccer team, they hate everything and everybody, not just America, because they're losers and they shouldn't even be in the Olympics. And it seems like our top athletes are America lovers and very grateful. But the girl, the first one that wrapped herself in the flag, she's a lady wrestler. I didn't even know there was lady wrestling in the Olympics. Did you?
Yeah, I did not.
Did you see her when she wasn't wearing the flag? Did you see her body? Oh my goodness, she looked like a man. But the lady. I got to watch that lady. I guess the lady wrestling's over now. We won the medal, but I didn't even know that was a sport. Yeah, I know. I wonder if she's political at all. If she is, she's.
See her speak?
Did she mention politics? I saw her, but I didn't.
It was very non-political.
Yeah.
A little bit of.
Yeah. America, and she had the flag around her.
Patriotism
and I did not know that. The only sport I ever participated in, really, when I was a kid, was wrestling. I liked wrestling. Oh no, she'd kick Steve, when you wrestle, the thing about wrestling that's good is you wrestle they have the weight classes. So you're wrestling people that are your own size and weight. You know what I mean? So there's an equalizer. But some of those wrestling poses are a little uncomfortable for me. I never really liked some of those wrestling poses. You know what I mean? Where you got to get in those, it's kind of gay. Anyway, so Biden came out. And the men's wrestling uniforms are, they're not very masculine, but a male's have you seen what the men wear to wrestle in? Oh my goodness! Oh, you wouldn't want to wear that. They wouldn't want to wear that. So Jen Psaki was, because Biden came out and said that Cuomo should resign for doing things that he's done in the past, and a reporter brought this hypocrisy up to Jen Psaki yesterday at the White House press briefing, and she didn't like it. Let me play this. Remember, I referenced this yesterday. Remember, Joe Biden is such a perv. He liked to swim naked in front of the lady Secret Service agents. Remember those days when he was vice president? And I'm naked in front of the agents. They didn't have female agents in JFK's day. It was all men. but there were no female Secret Service. Now, they might have brought in a woman pretending to be one so he could have sex with her, but all Secret Service agents were men in JFK's day. But Biden, when he was vice president, and I'm sure this is a practice he is carrying on as president, he would swim naked in front of the female Secret Service agents. And who the hell swims naked? A pervert. But so he called on Cuomo to resign for doing things that he himself has done. And a reporter asked Jen Psaki about this nude swimming in front of the ladies that Biden likes to do. Yesterday, I caught this live during the press briefing. Listen.
In a follow-up to the report on Governor Cuomo's sexual harassment, a lot of men in politics have been accused of sexual harassment. President Biden was accused by female Secret Service agents of skinny dipping in front of...
And when I was watching this live, Jen Psaki's face, she was pissed. And this reporter, she was pissed. This reporter's from the New York Post, and he talked, and part of the, you didn't hear in the beginning because I don't have this on the audio. He says, I haven't asked a question in a while. So I don't know if he's not there. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if she doesn't usually call on him or if he's not there often. I don't know.
In a follow-up to the report on Governor Cuomo's sexual harassment, a lot of men in politics have been accused of sexual harassment. President Biden was accused by female Secret Service agents of skinny dipping in front of them, offending them, according to former Washington Post reporter Ronald Kessler, who's an author as well. His former Senate aide Tara Reid accused him of sexual assault. The Washington Post and the New York Times have published multiple accounts of women who objected to the way President Biden touched them. Should there be an independent investigation of allegations into the president as there was into Governor Cuomo?
Well, first I would say the president has been clear and outspoken about the importance of women being respected and having their voices heard and being allowed to tell their stories and people treating them with respect. That has long been his policy, continues to be his policy. That was heavily litigated during the campaign. I understand you're eager to come back to it, but I don't have anything further other than to repeat that he has called for the governor to resign. Go ahead.
Okay, now Tara Reid, her claim was a little bit more that Joe Biden penetrated her digitally. Okay, you guys can figure out what that means if you don't know, and I don't mean with a computer, not that kind of digital thing. They got this new standard now, what Jen Psaki says. Well, they tell that now, as long as they can tell their story and the truth is out there, there's no repercussions. Like with the Attorney General in New York. Well, you all know about this. My job's done. And now Jen Psaki, well, her story's been told. It's over. So that's like saying if there's a bank robbery and you're the detectives investigating it and you find out who did it, well, our job's done now. No arrest, no prosecution necessary. We know who robbed the bank. And they got this new standard now. Now there's these people. Okay, now there's a video that's been circulating since 2015 of Biden taking a picture with a family and putting his hand on the little girl. You've seen the video. Do you know which one I'm talking about? Well, this one is one that's been circulating around a lot since 2015. She's now a little older, and listen to this. The girl who was touched by Biden in viral video is all grown up now and confirms that Biden groped her and she says pinched her nipple. She was only 8 at the time. Yeah, she's a teenager now. Yep. She said this on TikTok. She said President Joe Biden pinched her nipple. She has since deleted her comments of it because, harassment. Now, I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. All I know is that the liberals say that women should be believed. Well, this is an update. This is an update about but the pinching is a new thing. The nipple pinching is a new thing because she just said this, So this week, we saw the creepy bit, but this is an update. And all I've heard from liberals is women should be able to tell their truth and women should be believed. So women should either be believed or not. You can't believe them when they say something about Trump and then not believe them when they say something about Biden or Cuomo. Women should either be believed or not. Now, I believe there should be evidence and things like this should happen. But some liberal things are not going well for Biden and the Democrats. Yeah. Let's take, yeah.
Trying to get away from is the Mexican border thing. I mean, that's there's no end in sight for that, and it's going to end up infecting the whole country, and that's the one that's going to do them in.
Well, that was the whole thing with DeSantis. DeSantis is telling us that Biden is involved in the largest super spreader event of our time. I mean, you think Obama's birthday with 700 people was a big deal. They're sending a couple million people across the border and spreading them around the country is bigger than even the Obama birthday bash. Listen, we got to take our break. It is 36 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here broadcasting live from the Laporta Contracting Steve Kane Cooper City Radio Studio. I like that. That sounds really... I think we just did. The Laporta Contracting Steve Kane Cooper City Radio Studio. That's a big sign, but it's I can get it out in one breath. And we'll take a break and be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Richie the bus driver and many other Steve Kane listeners tell you about the great work Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care offers. Steve Kane listener, hey, called in, he had an accident, he went to Dr. Gupta, and he told us his story.
Good morning, Brian. My name's Hank. I'm calling from Hollywood. Brian, I'm calling you for a different thing. About a month or so ago, I called first thing in the morning because I fainted coming out of my bathroom, and I busted my 3 front teeth. I busted my chin, but I guess I fainted, I fell, I cracked my chin, it hit my upper teeth, and I cracked my 3 front teeth. I want to thank you, and I really want to thank Dr. Gupta. I mean, besides the fact that my teeth look great, besides the fact that, his assistant is really good, really nice, they're all really nice over there, the price was unbelievable. When I came home and I told my wife, she's like, I thought that thing was going to cost you 3 times as much. I said, so did I. And I just want to thank you. I want to thank Dr. Gupta. He's awesome. Appreciate your show. I listen to your show a lot. I only called in, this is the second time. Both times, one was to make sure I'm going to the right office where Dr. Gupta was, and then this one to let you know that he's great. I know you know he's great. I just want your listeners to know he's great. His assistant is great. The prices are great. Everything is great over there.
Awesome. Well, listen, I'm glad you had a great experience with Dr.
Yeah, I did. Thank you again, Brian.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, and thank Steve, and you guys keep up the good work over there. I appreciate it. Dr. Gupta, you keep up the good work, too.
All right, there we go.
So everybody keep up.
All right, I think you guys just heard what will be the new commercial for Dr. Gupta.
Do what Hank did. Call Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. For Steve Kane listeners, free consultations. And always the best price. Give Dr. Gupta a call right now. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
Traveling, you need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school. Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-59.
We have 20 minutes to go.
About them on the Steve Kane Show. Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
All right, 39 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. Steve is here. I want to play this because this is, Democrat Cori Bush, who was maskless on the Capitol steps with AOC the other day, and they were no social distancing going on. They were as close as a couple that were about to kiss were until the camera came out. Then they put their masks on for the photo op. But here's a clip. Cori Bush, you know who she is. She's in the Democrat. She's part of that squad group.
A Republican has pardoned Mark and Patricia McCloskey, who...
Isn't this awesome? I'm so glad they got pardoned. The wife, I don't even know if the wife had a real gun. That looked like a cigarette lighter to me, that the wife had. But I want to... The McCloskeys have been pardoned, and Cori Bush is upset. And what I did not know, Cori Bush was with the group in front of the McCloskey's house.
Were famously photographed pointing guns at protesters during June of 2020 in those demonstrations in St. Louis. You were actually among the marchers who encountered the McCloskeys that day. Mark McCloskey at the Republican convention called you the Marxist liberal activist leading the mob through our neighborhood. What is your reaction to this pardon?
It is absolutely unbelievable. There are other people that there are pardons that we have been asking for, pardons that actually should happen in Missouri, and that was not one. That was not one. They stood there, they pointed their guns, totally reckless.
Okay, now I'm going to play the rest of it, Corey, but I did not know she was with the group. The McCloskey's mansion is in a gated community, and this crowd that they broke into the property, private property. They broke down this huge, it looked to be an iron gate out front. They broke it down, ripped it off the hinges, and walked over the gate to make their way into this gated community. So they were all breaking and entering. I didn't know she was part of it.
A group of non-violent protesters walking down a street.
Walking down a street that they ripped the gate off to get into.
That had no clue that they lived there, didn't care that they lived there, didn't know them, didn't want to know them. Mark McCloskey is an absolute liar. He has spat on my name, and because of that, his day will come. You will not be successful.
What does that mean? His day will come? That's a threat. Yeah, that's a threat. His day will come? Wow.
Liar. He has spat on my name, and because of that, his day will come. You will not be successful in all that you're trying to do when you are hurting the very people that are out trying to save lives. Nothing good comes.
The best way to Black Lives Matter ripping down an iron gate and breaking into a gated community. That's how you save lives now. That's new to me.
Successful in all that you're trying to do when you are hurting the very people that are out trying to save lives. Nothing good comes from that. And he can try it, but I will not stand by and allow him or our governor to hurt the very people that are doing the work that they should be doing. So there are other people, Governor Parson, that you should be looking at. We have an activist that's been sitting for such a long time. Sitting. Do something. Actually show up and be the governor.
He just did. He pardoned the McCloskeys who were defending their home from a reckless mob that broke into their community.
Governor of all the people of Missouri, not just those that follow your type of politics.
His type of politics are law and order. So we need a governor that also represents the lawless.
That hurt black people, that actually hurt brown people, that actually hurt people who are unhoused, that actually hurt
people that are unhoused. That's a new one. I've not heard that one.
LGBTQ community, that actually hurt people who are of the Muslim faith, people who are struggling in this country, and people that are burdened differently than you. Stand up and be the governor of everybody. It's ridiculous.
Oh my goodness, she's very upset. That pardon really triggered her. He should have pardoned him before. Oh my goodness, if he would have known she would have been triggered to that level, he would have pardoned them long ago. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Good morning. How you doing?
All right, what's your name?
It's Jim from New York.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, James.
Hey, good morning. You know, the funny part is how that pundit and reporter led into the interview when she said, didn't even mention the fact that these people were invading private property. She just said, when these two people pointed their guns at peaceful protesters.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's so pathetic. And then you have this person who she was the interviewee stating, and she has to lump every victim group, you know, into the mix. It's so pathetic and predictable. But I guess, like Brian says, if we only said things that surprise us, you wouldn't have a show.
No, we would just say hello and goodbye. You know, that'd be it. Yeah. So we got to talk about all these things and call them out. But I did not know she put herself. What she did is she put herself at the scene of a crime. They broke the gate down, stormed over the gate because it was lying on the sidewalk after they broke it down. I don't know what the statute of limitations is in Missouri, but she put herself at the scene of the crime at this community break-in. They broke into the community. They vandalized the community to break in, and she's put herself at the scene of the crime. You know, what's different in what they did than what the Capitol breachers did?
The big difference is the narrative.
Yeah, that's right. And the skin color and the Democratic Party affiliate. Yeah.
Just call me funny when the pundits bled in with pointed guns at peaceful protesters.
Mm-hmm. That's it. All right. Hey, listen, appreciate Jim from New York. Take care. And, Wings Plus in Coral Springs, the Sample Road location, is the place to eat. You know, I was talking earlier, somebody had mentioned Mitt Romney. Before we knew what Mitt Romney was all about, we had an appearance with Mitt Romney over at Wings Plus. He was greeting people at the front door that were lined up to meet him, and you know, anyone who's anyone in politics goes to Wings Plus, at least conservative politics, right? Who else were we over there with? That's right. Sometimes if you watch like NBC News, when it's like election day in New Hampshire or something, they'll be at some diner and it's like, you know, this is Skippy's Diner and everyone that's ever been president since 1948 is eaten at Skippy's Diner. Well, that's what Wings Plus is. President Bush has eaten there. You know, the Trumps went over to Wings Plus too. President Trump has eaten the wings from Wings Plus. As has Eric, Newt Gingrich, Herman Cain. The list goes on and on and on and on. You know, that's the way it is. You know, you can't get Jeb Bush. You can't get elected with Rick Scott, the great former governor or senator. You know, you can't. Ron DeSantis had an event at Wings Plus too. You cannot get elected in Florida unless you go and have wings at Wings Plus, the Sample Road location. And about a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road. Make sure you tell Brian you heard about him on the Steve Kane Radio Show. We'll take our last break and come back with the Gold Report after this. Do not go anywhere.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hey guys, Brian Craig here. I have the MyPillow slippers that Mike Lindell. He's right. These are the most comfortable slippers I've ever worn. And you can get them for 40% off at MyPillow.com with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. One of our listeners called in on the air and told us about his experience with the MyPillow My Slippers.
Brian, I have the MyPillow slippers, and I have neuropathy. These are fantastic slippers.
Really? Which ones do you have? Which style do you have?
The fur-lined one.
Oh, the slip-on fur-lined ones?
Yeah, inside, outside.
What is neuropathy and what are the symptoms?
Well, the nerves in your feet start going bad, and it affects your balance, and it's painful.
So you're wearing the MyPillow My Slippers, which, by the way, 40% off with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, and it's helped with your neuropathy.
Yes, it is. It's much. I have to wear slippers at home. I can't go barefoot or even with socks on.
Wow.
So I have to wear that. And I also have the MyPillow pillow and the MyPillow mattress topper and
that mattress topper is unbelievable, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
My wife loves it.
Oh, man. I know, they're all great. Yeah, I know. And by the way, when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, 40% off the MyPillow slippers, 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper, and you get 2 free MyPillows with it. So it's great. Well, that's awesome. Order your MyPillow My Slippers 40% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. Or call 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. At noon weekdays, turn your radio to Richard Pearl on Politics. Unfiltered, unapologetic, always controversial. Richard Pearl tells it like it is. No topic is off limits. This is talk radio like it should be. You've known him as a master of nutraceuticals. Now, listen to Richard Pearl as you've never heard him before. Richard Pearl on Politics. High noon weekdays on this radio station. Be there.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
Oh, yes, another moment that everyone waits for each day on the Steve Kane Show, the Gold Report, brought to you by William Youngerman. William Youngerman one of the world's leading experts in the precious metals. He's been advising clients on trends and movements in all of the metals for over 50 years, and about 17 years on the Steve Kane Show. So, any questions or anything you want to learn or know about the precious metals? William's the man to talk to. William, how's it looking today?
Continuing our summer.
I made a video of the hospital visits, and it's on my TikTok, Brian Craig Show on TikTok. I made a video on the way to work. I went to the local hospitals and visited the ERs. So it's on. If you go to TikTok, Brian Craig Show on TikTok, you can see my hospital video.
Which was up $1. $26, and then came right back off those highs, closed at $25.38 on the day. That was down 16 cents. Platinum down $25 at $1,017, and palladium $5 at $25.84. This morning, again, the market is stable, but not doing much of anything. Gold up a dollar even right now at $1,812.60 the ounce. Silver's up 7 cents at $25.45 the ounce. While platinum is down $7 at $1,010, and palladium is down $2 at $25.82. Right now, platinum looks like a screaming buying opportunity for those of you who've been waiting for that opportunity to come along. Oil hanging just under, right around $68.50 a barrel, well off the highs of in the mid-70s. Bitcoin down over $2,200 this morning at $37,400. So again, gold is the main asset to be holding, and precious metals are the only thing real left in our financial world, it seems like.
Well, it's very exciting and a good day to stop by and see with you.
150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, and that's on the first floor of the Bank of America building, which is immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. Online, WilliamYurgerman.com, and his number, toll-free, 800-327-5010. And we were talking yesterday, William Yurgerman, people out of town that are interested in the metals, you do ship throughout the United States. So you can call him, you out-of-town listeners, 1-800-327-5010. All right, William Yurgerman, we'll finish out the week tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, take care, take care. You know, Steve, we are 5 months away from our vacation. Our Steve Kane 2022 MAGA cruise is just 5 months away, and you know we didn't get to do our cruise last year because of the COVID, and I bought new clothes for the last cruise and we didn't go, so they're still all unworn with the tags on them. They're going to be, I hope they're still in fashion this season, because I'll be wearing them on the cruise.
Fashions are timeless.
Yeah, exactly. And if it's not, we're cool enough to bring it back. But I'm wearing new shoes today. I bought new dress shoes for the cruise, and I thought I should start breaking them in before the cruise. So I'm wearing these new shoes today, just kind of breaking them in for our cruise. 5 months away. I'm so excited. We're gonna have a great time. This is gonna be, this is our biggest group we've ever had on a Steve Kane cruise. Biggest group, and it's huge. We got people coming from all over America, flying in to Fort Lauderdale to join us, and it is going to be a great time. Steve's bringing a surprise guest as his guest, which you'll find out on the cruise. I'm bringing my daughter, and we're going to have a great time. And call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. His number's at stevekaneshow.com, 561-244-5779, and join us. This is going to be a great time. Our first night live in-person talk show is going to be unlike any we have done before. Steve and I are going to be on stage. We're taking over the comedy club, and we're going to be on stage our first night, but we're going to do a talk show, and it's going to be a live in-person talk show where we're going to talk about all the things that we cannot talk about publicly on the radio. And in fact, it's going to be so unplugged that no recording of any kind, audio or video, will be allowed by anyone. So it's going to be that hot. So you will not, you won't want to miss that, and that's going to be a lot. I'm really looking forward to it. Ron DeSantis, they're going to really start going after him today. That what he did yesterday too. They're freaking out. Oh yeah. I know. Well, he has a press conference every day. Every day they're that good, believe it or not. This one just went viral. I watch his press conferences every day online. They're always that good. But he really panicked them yesterday. That really panicked them. That they were. I mean, because he the elephant in the room. Biden's a super spreader with the border, and you're not supposed to say that on the national stage.
There's no end in sight because he's going to have to reverse himself and admit he was wrong, and he's going to have to adopt.
That's right.
Just to keep them.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, DeSantis looked good yesterday, our second MAGA president. Now, just 3 hours from now, hitting the South Florida airwaves will be Richard Pearl on politics, and here he is on the line. Richard Pearl, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, a slight correction. It may be for everything, but it will not be that way. It's simply natural in Sunrise. No. Mm-hmm. That's right. Now listen, Richard Pearl's show, Richard Pearl on Politics, weekdays at noon on our radio stations, and his store, Simply Natural, located in Sunrise, just north of Sunset Strip on the east side of University, open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. The number over there, 954-741-4045, 954-741-4045. We're out of time, so we don't have time to get into it, Richard. But, Steve, yesterday, Richard Pearl told me about a product that you need to check into for your dehydration. He's got an incredible product for dehydration that you definitely need. Yeah, so you need to check into that. You and I both need that product, Steve, actually. Well, you get it. Go over to the store and pick it up. All right, hey, Richard Pearl, have a great show, and we'll talk tomorrow. All right, take care. You want to sign us off, Steve?
Back tomorrow morning to do it all over again. Until then, on behalf of
now listen, guys. When I end this stream, I'm going to start a new one shortly when I'm heading home in the car. So make sure you look for the notification. Make sure you look for the notification. Now, but before you go, I'm going to talk about this on my next live stream, and I really mean this. I talked about this earlier. I really believe there's a lot of good conservative people all over the place. Don't misunderstand me. There's good MAGA people everywhere. But I want to make this the MAGA show of record on YouTube. And I'm asking you guys to help me do that. So If you're subscribed, that's great. If you're not, please subscribe. Click the notification bell. Get all your friends and family to sub as well. And if your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, they have a YouTube account, get them to subscribe too. Try to get me up to that 50 and then 100K mark. You know, here we are. We're coming into the midterms. You know, the midterm season is starting. And this is a place I want people to go where they can get all the MAGA news, okay? So let's make this the MAGA radio show and YouTube channel of record, and you guys can help me. All right, guys, I'll see you in a bit on my stream on my